Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow! And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And let's try that again, shall we? Welcome back to the live stream. We are going to recap every single Marvel Legend reveal that happened today during the Hasbro Pulse fan stream. But I cannot do it on my own. It is, of course, Rich, Displayed One.
Hallelujah! We're back! We're back, Dad!
I'm basically saying hallelujah for that now rather than the reveals, but hope everybody has found us again. I do appreciate everyone's patience, but yeah, a few technical difficulties, but let's ignore that. Let's pretend that never happened and let's get back to it, shall we? Because there are lots of Marvel Legend reveals that went on today, and to be fair, Rich, you and me, I reckon, like, have a pretty good track record. We can quote you. You said yesterday they're going to start with the Spider-Man, they're going to then do their draft, and they're going to end with the X-Men wave. That's exactly what happened. How did you know, Missed It, Meg?
I did say that they should have revealed the Build-A-Figure in between each category, which they didn't do. That's what they should have done.
But we got a Build-A-Figure. We were curious.
Hey!
We were thinking they may leave it until the pre-order, but we got a Build-A-Figure. And to be fair, our highest prediction for the Build-A-Figure came true as well. Sort of, but I know you have a caveat for that, which we will explain a little bit later.
It's a dark moment all over again, man. All over again.
Hasbro name things very loosely, but we will get to that. But yes.
If only they employed someone who knew comic books. If only.
We've told them they need a super producer. There's a man for the job. Right, so 2 full Marvel Legend waves revealed, both Spider-Man and X-Men waves. They also confirmed that this Spider-Man retro wave was the very first wave of 2025, with that Build-A-Figure wave being the first Build-A-Figure wave of 2025. So we've also got the answers to a few clues, I think. A few lingering clues have been wrapped up.
I think all clues have now been cracked.
I think so.
But new clues have appeared.
So 3 clues have potentially been cracked. I think we will discuss, and then we have new clues to dissect, and I think we have already figured out what some of them are. But to be fair, the Hasbro team were very generous, as they did give a lot of little tidbits and clues about the future, just in general conversation. Those guys know what they're doing. A lot of clues for 2025, but as I said, 2024 has genuinely been a good year for Legends, and I do think 2025 will continue in that direction before Todd McFarlane gets the license. Damn you, Todd! No, I'm joking. He's not getting the license, people. Calm down. Relax. But anyway, lots of Marvel Legends for 2025, and we can absolutely get into it. Shout out Ryan, shout out Dwight, shout out Dan. Did you hear Dan may have gave a shout out to a British person named Dan? Now, it could be me, it could have been someone else, but did you
Could be Dan Hayden. Dan Hayden, he likes
Dan Hayden.
that.
But
yeah.
Mr. Dan Yoon did give he did sort of say there may be a British Dan that has been asking for a particular character, and I tell you what, I was, and I'm very happy about it. We will get into it all, but first let me just say hello to the chat that were patiently waiting for us as the first stream failed on us. I've deleted that previous stream, so ignore it. It never happened, all right? This is the one and only. The one and only. Question in the poll says, did you like today's Marvel Legend reveals? 2 answers, nice and easy. Yes, great reveals, or nope, not for me. So you can admit that they were good reveals even if you're not buying them, okay? But again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's your
What if you hate both the X-Men and Spider-Man?
Then it's nope, not for me. That's what it is. And 8%,
Yeah.
8% have voted nope, not for me. But 92%, which is the consensus, it was a great.
Those fucking Kristoff fans, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
But yes, lots of reveals and lots to discuss. So we're not going to waste any time, but I do just want to shout out the people that were patiently waiting. So let me scroll back up. I did this on the last stream, but I don't even know if you've heard me because the stream messed up. Anyway, we got Jellyfix, Iceman, Kev's Collectibles, Phoenix, Encountered Culture, Cute Cult, Mike Hex, Damien Ristori. The Strong Collectors are back. He said the next episode, Dan Who Lies and Going Live. Dan Who Lies Fuck Up is basically the next episode.
Strong Collectors need like Strong Collector look like that. Like, oh
yeah. The Strong Collectors need a new logo where it's like a flexing hand, but they're grasping a figure, like holding a Marvel Legend or something, or Mythic Legion, since they collect them. I've seen more Mythic Legions on the bus than Marvel Legends, Dakota. That's all I'm saying. But I'll be joining the Strong Collectors hopefully this weekend. I'm going to go on a little YouTube store. I'm going to go and try and sabotage Just and Collect stream tomorrow night, and then on Sunday I'm going to go over to the Strong Collectors. So you'll see me about on this weekend of Marvel Legend news, that is for sure. Who else we got? We got Star Hunter, Doc Avenger. There's that Just and Collect. He's still in the chat. He's still lingering. And we got everyone's favourite Christopher Allen. He says Danny's really spoiling us with content. That's true. 2 streams in one night. You are lucky people. Super Turk 5000. D-Les said let's go. Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. We got both Kevs in the chat again. Kev BT and Kev Collectibles. Daniel S is there. Your boy's got toys. He says just walked in. Did something happen to the first stream? No, nothing at all, Alexi. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Phoenix is there as well. The Blatchula. That's Lorenz, Glenn Miller, the On U83 says take 2. But yes, I appreciate everybody. Crash is there, Bruce, Brian, Savage Saint, Blake, Joe, Gary A, Greg Miller, Oi, Mug, Weapon, Collecting Rush, Craig Stock, Nostalgic Collection. We see you all. We appreciate you all. But let's get into it. So we're going to go into the order that the actual Hasbro stream did. Okay, so there you go. There's the 3 gentlemen. Starting off with recaps from yesterday's reveals. So these were only revealed yesterday. And Rich, right? You're usually bang on. You're usually right about everything. But
I know what you got. Apologies to Rick. Rick was right. Rick was right on, yeah.
Dwight Stahl did confirm in the live stream that these are brand new effect pieces. Obviously similar to what we've had before, but they're a little bit more rigid and they're bigger, obviously. So yeah, they are
bigger, harder, and thicker, Dan. I was confused.
You must be very happy with that adjustment, at least.
It is usually the other way around in pictures. It's disappointment, where the pictures were accurate this time.
But yeah, we've got Francine Fry here as the female Electro with those new effect pieces and some interchangeable hands. Straight away, they showed us on the modern card, so I knew what direction this stream was going, and I wasn't mad at it. Next up, we got Spider-Boy as well. Again, a reveal we already had. This one was revealed by Dan Slott. We do get confirmation of the interchangeable head.
He's got a new hat! A new hat!
Interchangeable face with the teeth in his, because he is a Spider-Boy hybrid. Your boy's got toys said it best on Jay's stream. He said a radioactive a spider got bit by a radioactive boy or something like that, which sort of works out. But yes, it's Spider-Man's lost, forgotten sidekick, Spider-Boy, 2 interchangeable heads. He does have swipping hands, although he doesn't swip, if that makes sense. But they did give him swipping hands as a tribute to the Spider-Man character that he
Maybe
is.
He's like emo, like yeah.
They also they recapped what was the other one? Gambit. They showed off Gambit as well. But let's get into the new reveals. First up, Unlimited Spider-Man. So we spoke about this yesterday. There was a tease, just like the boot. There was a tease that everybody knew it was Spider-Man Unlimited. And today we got that confirmation. And the figure looks good. The figure looks good, to be fair. The animated style it was definitely a little bit different to the original Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s. So the costume design, depending on the panel, depending on the lighting in the scene, could have been perceived a little bit darker. But I'm happy with this. The dark blue and the reds, the sculpting detail genuinely does look really good with his gauntlets, and it continues over the chest as well, and it breaks for the ab crunch in the middle. You've also got this sort of the web cape, just like Spider-Man 2099, attached to the back of him there as well. And you get 3 3 sets of hands for your Spider-Man Unlimited. You get swipping hands, punching hands, and grabby hands. So Spider-Man Unlimited finally officially revealed, Rich. Again, the clues were there. We knew it was coming, but now it's been revealed on the Toy Biz tribute packaging, which we also assumed it would be. Are you a fan of this? Did you even watch the cartoon? I can't even remember.
I have watched the cartoon. I think I didn't watch it as a kid. I think I watched it afterwards. But yeah, I like this. I think it's got good sculpting. It looks really nice. It's accurate to the TV show, and it's branded as Spider-Man Unlimited. I was wondering how they were going to get around that. If they're just going to be like Spider-Man of the future or Spider-Man of Counter Earth. So the fact they called it Spider-Man Unlimited is good. And as well, like this TV show, it never had an official figure line. Nothing was ever released. So finally, if you were a massive fan of this, you've got a figure and the main character to put on your shelves at last. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And again, being on the Toy Biz packaging makes sense, as the cartoon debuted in the 90s while this Toy Biz packaging was on those Toys R Us shelves. And I think for some reason, I think there was a figure of this Spider-Man Unlimited in like the smaller scale, but it wasn't on this packaging.
Yeah, it was like in the kids line, they used it as like, it was like a scuba suit, but it was this design. But they've never like done an official Spider-Man Unlimited figure.
Yeah, so I like this. And again, first Toy Biz tribute packaging to add to the wall. I do have some space. You know, I've been waiting. Next up, one that again, I think a lot of people are very happy to see. We have got the Clone Saga 90s era again, is Kane. So while the animated series was happening in the 90s, it was actually the Clone Saga happening in the comics at the same time with Ben Reilly, with Kane. And this is your Kane Parker in probably his most people's mind's eye. We have got his other sort of Scarlet Spider version in the red outfit, but this is definitely 90s era Kane. And again, this one looks really good as well, like completely pinless. No, if the reuse is there, it's really well hidden, because that's detail on him in the web lines is all sculpted, veiny work in the blue. And again, I like the contrast with the light blue over the dark. You've got the spikes that are sculpted on him as well, and then you've got the pink that stands out very nicely in the sort of sweeping effect for the cape, and then you've got the hair over the mask with the whited out eyes. I genuinely think this looks really good, a solid representation of a much desired 90s Spider-Man character, which I think Rich would be happy with this as well, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think like Kane was like the big missing character really from 90s Spidey clones. Like we've had Kane before in like his Scarlet Spider versions, but never in this classic look. So yeah, to get this is great. The fact that it's on the classic card back is great as well, and I'll definitely be adding this to the collection.
Yeah, another one on the tribute Toy Biz packaging. Very happy to see that. And again, although he was not in the animated show, it's a 90s character. Like it's a throwback. It's a character that would have probably eventually have been in the animated show and been on this card if the line had continued. And I quite like thinking of the Toy Biz line as that, as like if it continued, what other characters of that era would we see on this card back? Kane is absolutely fair game. So yeah, really liking that one. I think if you're a Spider-Man fan, you'll be very happy with this. Moving on to another modern card back, and a character that we have got in the Hasbro era, but again, it was 10 years ago. The very first Walgreens exclusive for Marvel Legends was Agent Venom. It unfortunately carried over some of the Toy Biz tributes, the old Hasbro sort of Toy Biz articulation, because it had the T-jointed legs, but it was fine for the time. For 10 years ago, it was actually a pretty desired Marvel Legend. Quite hard to get in the UK. Shout out Rob Pollock that helped me get this into my collection not long ago, so I could stand him next to what's her name? What's her name, Rich? The
Mania.
Yes, Mania. Thank you. Because there's obviously Mania is connected to Flash Thompson and Agent Venom, but now we have a nice new Agent Venom, completely pinless, proportionally is going to fit a lot better into our modern Marvel Legend collection. Comes with some weapons as well. Granted, Tanner pointed out his previous weapons are probably a little bit more accurate, but still, weapons are weapons. I'm sure people have many options in their fodder boxes and in their display accessory bins to swap out his weapons if needed. But completely pinless, nice tooling for the spikes on the gauntlets and on the shin pads. He's got a working holster. But what is really nice to see that I don't think we expected, an unmasked Flash Thompson head sculpt, which looks really good. Some people have said it looks like Two-Face from the Christopher Nolan movies, which I sort of see a little bit, I guess, with the blonde hair. But a really solid face sculpt here for Flash Thompson to give us the display option. I always like this because, yes, it's an upgrade to the previous version, but now I've got the unmasked head. I always feel like I could display one with the unmasked head, one with the regular head, and like find a place for both of them on the display at the end of the day. But this is on the modern card. It looks really good. I genuinely like this one, Rich. What are you saying?
So, first of all, when Agent Venom was on the leak list, I wasn't really that into it. I was hoping it's Battle Damage Spider-Man, to be honest with you. Yeah. But the fact that it was this, that extra head, I was like, oh, that head looks good. So, I love a bit of head, Dan, so why not get this Agent Venom? It is a good sculpt on it, the way the hair goes, and it fits nice on the uniform as well. Because sometimes with mask characters, when they take it off, like I like that it sits like down in the collar. So I like that. I will definitely be getting this now. Hooray.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, one that from the original leak lists, I wasn't really sure what direction they'd go. I know there's a lot of... There's a Yamaguchi Reveltech version of Agent Venom that came out recently that people really liked, undoubtedly. Looked great with all the accessories. And then I think CT Toys did their own knockoff Anti-Venom, which again a lot of people really liked. And no doubts that they are good representations of the characters. But for me, when I'm world building, I do like aesthetically, proportionately, everything to feel like it's coming from the same world. So I don't really mix up other lines in my Marvel Legend collection. So
I got money in the bank.
Have options for Agent Venom, but I do think this is going to fit much nicer into a Marvel Legends display, much better proportion, and again pinless with weapons, interchangeable head. So I'm with Rich. This one surprised me, but I like it a lot. And again, it's on the modern card back because it's a more modern character as well. Mike Hex with a super chat. Thank you very much, Mike. He says, I have a Yamaguchi Agent Venom ×3 and I still want this. Well, Mike Hex is a Venom guy, right? As much as I love Chameleon, this guy loves Venom. So I had no doubt Mike Hex would be in on this as well. But I do like the interchangeable heads definitely add the perception of more value to this as well, which I always like. So yeah, I'm in. And lots of hands as well. Fisted hands, grabby hands, and trigger finger hands. So and 2 guns and an interchangeable head, I will take it. I'm in. Oh, Rich, there it is. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment to compose myself.
Oh, calm yourself down. Take a minute.
Ooh, okay. Let's. I just need to work myself up there. I can't believe it. Let me try and play this video actually, because let me see if I can find this. Because Dan definitely mentioned me by name. He may not have said Dan who, but everyone knew what he was talking about. Let's have a see if I can add this to the stream. Where would it be? Here it is.
Have you gotten maybe like a message or two or request or two on the socials for this character?
I've got a lot of messages from a certain English Dan that has been wanting this figure for a very, very long time now.
That, right?
So without further ado,
you've heard that.
We have the animated style Chameleon.
There it is.
All right. So Chameleon also comes with a couple
So excited. So yes, Dan basically said there may have been a British Dan or an English Dan, whatever he said, that has been asking for this one. And I absolutely have. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some pals, some hits, some fire emojis? I don't care what emoji you drop in the chat. Let's flood the chat with some emojis. It has happened, people. Chameleon. Hallelujah. 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 I can't believe it. It happened. This has been, for a good while now, my most wanted character on the Spider-Man Retro card. Now, I'm not a fair weather fan. I literally have a wall in my house, head to toe, of Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro cards. I have been a fan of this line since the get-go. I'm not a late bloomer. From the very first wave, I was like, right, this is me. This is what collecting is all about. It is fusing nostalgia with modern action figures. It's what I love. And the glaring gap in the Insidious 6 from the Spider-Man series, which this line is in tribute to, was Chameleon. Let me remind you, the Insidious 6 was the animated versions of the Sinister 6. They switched up the roster a little bit with the characters that appeared in the animated show. We have got Doc Ock in the VHS. We've got a version of Shocker. Granted, we need a better one, but we have one. We have Mysterio. No, see, I knew you were going to do that. purposely made sure I got it right. We got a Rhino, and we have a pretty accurate Scorpion as well. So the last character we needed was Chameleon. And considering we had the VHS line all year, I was genuinely concerned that we were going to get Chameleon, but not on the retro card. And I was like, I'll be okay with it, but it's not what my heart wants. My heart wanted retro carded Chameleon on the retro card, and 30 years from the original Chameleon figure, we now have the Marvel Legend. And it did include the mask, Rich. That bloody mask. That tease was actually the Chameleon for the animated show. Now, we have had plenty of discussions about this. They showed it off, and everyone was saying the Chameleon from the animated show, he doesn't wear masks, which is true, he doesn't. So everyone was saying it's going to be the cartoon, not the cartoon, the comic version of Chameleon. Well, guess what, people? Tough! It's not! It's the animated one! And he's here! I'm so happy. I said at the end of 2023, if we do not get an animated Chameleon on the retro card by the end of 2024, I riot and I quit YouTube. So, lucky for you, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. That's right, I'm staying on YouTube now. Hasbro has spoken. I'm here for the long haul. Honestly, I'm so happy. For me, this is everything I love. It's nostalgia with my favourite characters, throwback to the toys I had as a kid, the animated show. I love it, Rich. I love it. Rich, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I didn't think that they would do this. I thought it was going to be the comic one. So the fact that they did, I think, is a good thing. I think this is the one that everyone wanted. I know some people out there going, "Oh, I wanted the comic one." I don't think you did. I think you wanted this one.
Tough.
The thing is about Chameleon, he's the master of disguise, isn't he? So it could be like you can use any costume you want, swap his head onto someone else, put a different head on it. Like Mike Hex is saying, there's no Venom head on it. Hopefully, all heads will fit on it in some kind of way. Because I think that's what people are going to want.
Yeah, the original Toy Biz figure from 30 years ago had a Venom head, a Spider-Man head, and a J. Jonah Jameson head. And shout out Dwight, because I was talking about Chameleon with Dwight at MCM, and he tried to give me a bit of hope, because he said to me, I said, I'm worried that the Chameleon that's being teased isn't going to be animated style because you've revealed that mask. And he went to me at MCM, or maybe it's a tribute to the original toy. So Dwight was definitely pushing me in the right direction to try and give me confidence and a bit of hope. I was like Hawkeye and Endgame. Mike Hex confirms no Venom head for Chameleon. I feel cheated. Mike, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. We've got 2 Venoms on the retro card, for God's sake. We haven't even had a single Chameleon. He is completely pinless. It does seem like the torso's new, but there's probably a little bit of reuse there, but I'm not mad at it. I'm absolutely fine with it. Like your boys got toy said in the chat, my only nitpick, and again, I'm not really moaning, I'm very happy with this, but it would have been nice to have a removable bout, because in the animated show, to show the audience who is Chameleon, it's whoever's wearing his bout is the giveaway. So it would have been nice to have an accessory which was a bout that you could clip on other figures, or just have a clip at the back of this bout, which may still have a clip at the back. Like we haven't seen the back, so maybe the bout is removable, but I'm assuming they would have told us that. I'm guessing not, because the strap seems to attach. That strap seems to attach.
That bit's attached there, so there's no way.
So it's not the Red Skull body, because the chest is different and it's got the shoulder podger and things. But the arms may be different as well, because they've got the sleeves and then the gauntlets.
Yeah.
So it's not as much reuse as we assumed, which I'm very happy to see. But we get some interchangeable hands. He can hold the J. Jonah Jameson head, which is yes, he didn't swap masks in the show, but this is a tribute to the toy line, an amalgamation, if you will, which I'm absolutely fine with. So yeah, that squashed head was J. Jonah Jameson. Like, it was. And I am only joking, of course I am. I would happily have a comic Chameleon as well. But for the animated Toy Biz tribute packaging, it made more sense, and I don't think anyone can dispute this, it made more sense to have the animated show Chameleon on the animated Toy Biz tribute packaging. We can now, it's fair game to get a comic Chameleon anywhere now. Give us in any line, but I'm very, very, genuinely, for a long time, has been my most wanted Marvel Legend in this exact format, and it has happened. So I'm finishing the year on a high, Rich, very happy, and it is definitely the anchor of this whole wave. 3 modern, 3 retro, like they did last year. I don't mind this theme at all because I am running out of space. So if I had to, I've still got room, people, though. I've still got room, don't you worry. But Rich, what do you think of this wave for a whole? And give us your top 3 of this wave.
I love this wave. I think it's a good wave of new and old. Top 3, I would say probably Kane, Chameleon, and I'm going to go with Female Electro. Female Electro as well.
Give Francine Fry some love. Look, I was saying that in regards to Francine Fry, she may not be getting a lot of love right now, but it's because people are unfamiliar with the character. But speaking subjectively of Marvel Legends, like, is this a good representation of the character from the source material? The answer is yes, people. This looks like a great figure and a great representation of the character. And go and learn via the medium of action figures. How this inspire you to go and read that sort of modern day clone saga with the Jackal from like 2015-16 era, I think it was, where he resurrected loads of villains. But yeah, this is like, whether you know the character or not, you can't dispute it's not a great representation of the character. I'll give you my top 3. It's obviously Chameleon at number 1. Second choice is hard, but I'm going to say Chameleon. And then third choice on the podium, let's have a little think about this. It's Chameleon. Chameleon. I'm so happy now. All the retro ones I love. But I love Agent Venom as well. And I'm happy with Spider-Man. Happy with this wave. I'm in. I'm all in. Doubling up on the retro card, but I only need one of the modern characters, which I'm absolutely fine with. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. So, one full wave. So far, so good, right, Rich?
Yeah, doing good. This is a decent wave. It's like, it's a mix. It's something for everyone. Old, new, borrow, blue. It's got something for everyone.
Yeah, if you're not a Spider-Man fan, then maybe this isn't for you, and that's okay. That's okay. There's many more worlds in the Marvel Universe that you could gravitate to. But if you're a Spider-Man fan, I genuinely think there is something in this set of 6 figures that you can like and appreciate. And even if you're not a Spider-Man collector, just looking at this wave subjectively, as I said, I think they're really solid representations of these characters in plastic. The whole wave is completely pinless. They all come with a few accessories. Granted, some are just in
money in the bank,
but some of them have more tooling than others. Chadwick with the super
Chadwick
chat.
Myers donated
Thank you, let Friday read
$5.
that.
Me. Guess I gotta go back and collect all the animated series figures now. Hasbro Marvel Legends team. Did someone say animated series? Hold my beer.
Yeah, shout out Chadwick, he knows the score. He says, I guess I gotta go back and collect all the animated series figures now. Hasbro Marvel Legends. And then the team said, did someone say animated series? Hold my beer. So Dan Yoon did confirm we would still get animated inspired character designs, just not on the VHS. Retro card is the obvious choice, but we may get 2-packs, single packs or something down the line. I don't know, but very happy with this. So Chameleon, people, it did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. All right, cool. Moving on. They showed off Savage Land characters because they were leading to showing us something that would complement the Savage Land. They had a reveal from the Savage Land.
Look at the Savage Land, Dan. What's it known for? It's known for these scantily clad people in loincloths and furs. Yep. We've got Kazaba there. And think of all the wonderful characters from the Savage Land we could have got. We could have got Shauna in a little bikini with a big knife and a big pole. We could have got Sexy Rogue in his Savage Land look. We could have got Sexy Storm in his Savage Land look. We could have got Sexy Brainchild in his Savage Land look. We could have got Sexy Amphibious in his Savage Land look. We could have got Sexy Zaladin in her Savage Land look. But what did we get, Dan? What did we get? The sexiest of them all, Sexy Charles Xavier. Look at him, sex on legs, that is. Literally on legs.
Fully clothed Charles Xavier. Now, I definitely think they were leaning to make us think if they were going to reveal Shana the She-Devil as the obvious trio to Kazar and Zabu. But they then obviously went off to show off Professor X in his Savage Land gear. Now, if you're a fan of the animated show, in season 2, they're in the Savage Land and he wore this animated suit. So some people may be familiar with it from the animated show as well. But he comes with his helmet, which I think is just a new accessory they're just throwing in for the sake of it, which is fine.
He couldn't even use his powers in the Savage Land.
They're just throwing it in for the sake of it, which is fine. Which is, again, it's just added value to the packaging, isn't it? Just throwing an extra accessory. So yeah, Charles Xavier in the suit. Since we've seen Hank Pym in the West Coast Avengers set. We all knew at some point in the Marvel Legends line this is coming, and it eventually got here. Savage Land Professor X on the orange packaging. So I do like to see the original orange packaging continue. Of course, for the X-Men 97 figures, they've got new design, but I'm glad to see them continue with the orange packaging as well, which is nostalgic.
California Red Devil donated $4.99.
Thank you.
They were talking about how some people didn't like the draft. Clear reference to Rich. Everyone spam Dan Hume to give us the rest of Og X Factor.
Thank you very much, California Red Devil, for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says, they were talking about how some people don't like the draft. Clear reference to Rich. Everybody spam Dan Yoon to give us the rest of the OG X Factor. Well, to be fair, Rich, they clearly watch our streams because they mention me by name and they mention that there's some people out there that don't like the draft, which you may or may not have said of recently. So they're lurking. They're lurking. Shout out Dan, Brian, and Dwight if you are lurking.
I will say Ryan Ting had good hair. I was envious. Well, I'm envious of Homer Simpson's hair, so that that doesn't help. But I was envious of Ryan Ting's hair. I thought he looked very nice tonight. It's a good haircut. Good new barber at Hasbro HQ.
He knew he was on the last stream of the year. He had to look good. He came with his game.
Although he did get the Jackie Jennings teleprompter, which is in a corner somewhere far away from the rest of the people.
Is it a coincidence that our good friend Brandon gets a job at Hasbro and then a figure that we were taking the piss out of him for many, many months and years on the live stream now suddenly appears in the Marvel Legend line now that Brandon's at Hasbro? I'm not saying that he is straight away impacting the development of Marvel Legends, but he has definitely been whispering into the ears of his colleagues, it seems, to maybe help persuade them to get...
Dwight, it's really popular. It's by far and away the most wanted of all the X-Men. Do it, Dwight, do it. I don't know why Brandon's from the Palace of London, but there he is.
I don't remember him being that posh, but okay. Shout out Brandon. He is in the chat lurking. He's taking some ACBA pictures tonight. But yes, he was very happy. He was just as happy to see this as I was to see Chameleon. So that shows you the level of excitement Brandon had to see Savage Land Professor X. But as I said, I'm happy to see on the orange card because I want that to continue. I still want the Jim Lee outfits on that card just for nostalgia's sake in the same way that I wanted Chameleon on the retro card. So Rich, I know you're taking the piss, but is this something you're going to be picking up or not?
I mean, I will pick it up. It's not like... It's not like my most wanted X-Men figure or my most wanted Savage Land figure, but I will definitely pick it up to, like, it fills in a gap. And obviously in the X-Men, in the original X-Men animated show, like the Savage Land arc was like a big arc, wasn't it? So like this is a good representation of that.
Most of it. No, I'm with Rich. Like obviously not, and I think the Hasbro team knew that as well as they're revealing this. That's why Dan Yoon did go on to confirm we will be getting more Savage Land characters. Dwight then even mentioned Forearms via name, so I don't know if that was a tease because he did get a shush off one of them, but Dwight does like to ramble as well, so who knows?
I bet Brandon's got his bloody X-Men Evolution file of facts ready to go now to show Dwight. Look at these.
Yeah, well, Brandon...
Don't do it, Dwight. Stay away.
Brandon's in the chat. Let's see what he said. Brandon said, Savage Land Professor X, forever. And then he says, X-Men Evolution. X-Men Evolution next. Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes after that. And let's hope so. Here's to another great year of Marvel Legends in 2025 and beyond. Yeah, absolutely. 2024, again, has been a good year. So if we continue in this direction, 2025 is set to be great as well. So far, everything we know of 2025 is genuinely good. There's not really a lot of misses within the year at all. But Brandon's a whole generation younger than us. So in the same way that I love the Spider-Man show, in the same way that you love the X-Men show, that's how he loves the Evolution, and the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because that's what he grew up on. So I understand his attachment to those properties because it's how I feel about the generation before. So, but I'm selfish and I'm not getting any younger. So let's complete my era first. And Brandon's going to live longer than me, all right? So you can get to his generation a little bit after. But yeah, good stuff. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, again, they did confirm Shana's coming. Shana the She-Devil is coming. It's a matter of fact. And again, Bug Nice did mention that free pack that someone told him about that they are keeping secret from us, clearly. So that's why I haven't heard from Bug Nice in a while, because this free pack's not been revealed. It's like me and Mephisto, isn't it?
You wait till the next announcement and it's like amphibian or something like that. They seem to be hinting at forearm, didn't they? Because they did a character with four arms.
They mentioned it by name. Dwight literally said forearm, and then he got a shh off one of the team. So I don't know. We'll see. But Shaun of the She-Devil and Forearm do seem like good candidates for the next two out of this. So we're in. Next up, this one is for our good friend Todd Rectangular. It seems like he does have friends at Hasbro after all. As in the, remember 2002, the summer program was the Spider-Man, like we got 10 Spider-Man items. And in the leak lists running up to that, Todd was talking about a 70s Spider-Man was going to be in the line. Now, it eventually turned out to be the Japanese Spider-Man live-action version instead of this one. But it turns out they did this one anyway. Now, I've not seen what this is in reference to. Apparently, this is a TV movie from the 70s, which I think I'll seek out just for comedic value on YouTube, but I genuinely don't know what it is. But I know it's from a TV show, a TV movie in the 70s. I apologies that I can't remember the actor's name. But it's basically on the Japanese Spider-Man body with a different head sculpt, maybe some different belts and gauntlets, and they've threw in some... They've literally give us some string, Rich. They've give us some string. But this is going to be a Walgreens exclusive, Walmart exclusive, Walmart exclusive. No Walmarts in the UK, so I'm assuming this will just be regular fan channel for us. But Rich, do you have any interest in 70s live action Spider-Man?
I've got zero interest in this at all. Will not be adding it to my shelf, but obviously, you know, if you're an old man like Todd, then this is a great figure to get, innit?
Yeah. Shout out. So we've got two different spectrums of age. We've got young Brandon, who wants the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and then we've got old man Todd, who loves this 77 Spider-Man.
I like the packaging on this. So I do like the logo and everything like that. I think they've done that quite a good design for it.
It probably is to say, like, again, I don't know the reference, but maybe it's inspired by the credits or the title animation of the actual film. I don't know. Again, this one's not aimed at me, but it's a Spider-Man character. So, like, I think these Spider-Man is fair game to just add in a Spider-Verse. If you've got a Spider-Verse shelf, you can absolutely just put this in as a little Easter egg. You don't need to know the reference. You can just say, well, that's 70s Spider-Man. Of course it is.
And I bet Tanner's happy because like Turkish Spider-Man could be next now. They're going all over the world.
Tanner got his hopes up. When they said there's a Spider-Man from the 70s, Tanner was on his seat like this. He was like ready to cheer for Turkish Spider-Man, and then they showed this, and then he just collapsed. And then he was very deflated. But Tanner got close to the evil Turkish Spider-Man getting revealed. But no, 70s Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1977, how yes, says Kevin BT. Love this 77 Spidey, says California Red Devil. Is this just a great way to indicate who the old people are in the chat room? I say that with love, people, but you're exposing yourself with this one. To be fair, people could have grew up and their parents could have introduced them to this and it could have been something they watched as a child, maybe, I don't know. Jamie says, my older brother used to have the VHS of this Spider-Man. It holds some nostalgia. See? Exactly my point. People discovered it later on via their family. Kev Beatty says, I have the VHS stuff to this still to this day. The Watcher says, I'm not old and I'm intrigued by 70s Spider-Man. Love it. Absolutely. Learn via the medium of action figures. Allow Marvel Legends to introduce you to a form of Spider-Man that you were unfamiliar with. I myself am going to seek out 70s Spider-Man just to see what it is, just for a laugh and a giggle.
Have you got a Betamax player though to be able to play it?
No, I'll have to go to the charity shop and find one. Tac Tac Toy says, my granddad used to watch 70s Spider-Man. Yazzie Toy Guy says, I was alive in 77, but I was free. But I was alive. He was alive. That is a fact. He was definitely alive in 77. Dave, collecting Virtual Dave, aka Andrew, says, I have all of the VHS. I love this Spider-Man. Logan Dan Toy says, I'm 40 and they aired in the 80s. South Presence says, this was my first live action Spidey. See, there is absolutely an audience for this. Me and Rich are saying everything we say with love. Honestly, I'm happy for the people that wanted this. I know there are people out there that want it. And I'll get it. I'm absolutely going to add this to my Spider-Man shelf. This is a live action Spidey as well. So this will like fit in the very back of your MCU as a multiverse Spider-Man. That's where he's going to be. He's going to be at the back, which him and Japanese Spider-Man have teamed up and they're at the back somewhere. They're trying to shout Toby and Andrew and they're like, shut up, you're not part of the cool team over here. He fought with ninjas, says Eric. See, that's fun. We got some hand ninjas. We can make it work. Nicholas Hammond played him. Thank you very much, Eric. That was the name. Nicholas Hammond. Are you familiar with that actor, Rich?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't in any Xena Warrior Princess or Baywatch.
He
so
wasn't.
No clue.
He
no
wasn't.
clue.
He wasn't.
That's
indeed.
why I was watching it my own.
Compulsive Collector says, I'm always begging for Academy X characters, and apparently no one at Hasbro knows Josh Foley from Guy
Jay Guthrie. So this would be when they revealed Husk and Ryan, I think it was, said, "Oh, we could do Elixir, the brother of the other Guthrie brother, but that's not the other Guthrie brother. The other Guthrie brother is Josh, who is Icarus in the comic books." And he's like from like the new X-Men Academy X era as well.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it then. Let's keep going through. So next up, keeping it live action. Now, I have got an apology to make, right? I, like a smart ass, I'm in the YouTube chat on YouTube, and people are getting excited for Lizard and Electro. Do you know, like the general fandom of Legends, the ones that ain't embedded in the culture like us, which is fair game, are like, oh, I want a Chameleon, I want a Electro and a Lizard from No Way Home. And Dan Yoon, earlier that day on Twitter, put a post out and said, no MCU figures will be revealed today. So I'm in the chat, like a wise ass, thinking I know it all, going, just to let you know, no MCU figures will be revealed today. No MCU figures will be revealed today. Like a fucking idiot.
That guy, Dan Who. That guy. Oh.
So Dan Yoon made me look like a liar, because halfway through the stream, they only go and reveal Lizard from No Way Home, which I'm not mad at all, but last time I checked, this was an MCU figure. Dan Yoon making me look like an idiot. I just realised that I just need to shut my mouth and stop pretending like I know it all. But yes, Lizard from No Way Home has been revealed. And Dan Yoon confirmed that Electro is coming. Not that it was a secret, but he did want to just officially confirm Electro is coming. But Lizard looks great here. He comes with 2 heads, some interchangeable hands, and apparently a bendy wire tail, I got told. I didn't hear them say that, but someone confirmed it for me in the chat. It has got some reuse from the old body, which I think they used on the Sauron builder figure, but they have built upon that and then added the pinless tech and stuff. So it's got some nice paintwork as well and some good texture. Like, it's definitely a good representation of Lizard, undoubtedly. He's bigger, as you can see him next to Andrew Garfield Spider-Man there as well. I like this. Clearly a missing piece to our No Way Home collection. We know Electro's coming as well at some point in 2025. So next year, it's safe to say we will be able to complete that final battle of No Way Home, which I think people will be very happy with. It is unfortunately though an Amazon exclusive, but it goes up for pre-order later this month, so this is going to turn up in early quarter 1 of 2025. But there it is in the box, 2 interchangeable hands. So he seems to have a fist, a grabby hand, and then 2 clawed hands, and then he's got a screaming head and a regular face. And Rich, right, doesn't this head sculpt look like Cooper from the Marrow live action movie in the early 90s?
It kind of does a little bit, yeah. It's supposed to be wanted there.
So if you want to double this guy to fight your live action Mario figures, that is also fair game. But honestly, it's a good version of Lizard. I'm happy with it. People wanted it, now it's there. Amazon exclusive. Moving on to the draft now, Rich. Let's spend the next hour breaking down their picks and why we think subconsciously they picked each one. No, let's not do that.
Let's rank the Marvel Legends team. Which one are you going to pick and which one shall I pick? And then the one who doesn't pick is the loser.
Because I don't care about the props, and I never got Carnage. So I never got Carnage and I don't care about the props. I like his other picks, but I feel like I like all of Dwight's picks. I like them all. So, out of all 3 of them, I think I like Dwight's. Do we have a picture of all 3?
You only got Ryan's picks, aren't they? You just don't care.
It wasn't me, it was Toyark. Toyark clearly not a fan of Ryan Ting. Toyark hate Ryan Ting confirmed. He's confirmed it here on the chat. Yeah, I'm just using Toyark images. So yeah, they didn't show... Oh, no, it's here. It's here. There you go. We found it. All right, there's Ryan's. So I like Ryan's as well. And he's got UK repping Death's Head in there. Sentinels. The 2-pack with Wasp. No, I'll stick with Dwight's. I'm going to say Dwight's. I like Dwight's. What about you?
See, I like a bit of Dwight's and a bit of Ryan. I think Dan's got the worst picks. I'm gonna go with Ryan. Because I like Death's Head. I love that Wasp figure. That Miss Marvel figure is great as well. And that Miles G. Morales is a really good figure. So I'm going to go. And the Sentinels, yeah. I'm going with Ryan. I'll go with Ryan.
Cool. I'll go with Dwight. I'll show him some love today. Sorry, Dan. But I never got...
And I can confirm that I did sit through it all. I watched all the drafts. for everyone out there, I hate watch.
You're
by
going to hate
myself.
Sunday's episode because you know what Dakota wants to do on the Strong Collectors podcast, Rich?
Your own.
He wants to do his own
ranking.
version of the rankings.
Oh dear God.
I know, I'm not a fan, but it's his show. It's his show. So yeah, I again, that's a Sonyverse carnage. Granted, the Legend's probably good, but the film was so like I hate the Sonyverse so much. I don't even want the figure in my collection. So it's probably a good figure, but I can't look at it subjectively for the fact of what it represents. I can't go near it. Sonyverse needs to end, go away. And Death's Bird is that
What? Come on. Do you work for Hasbro? That's Warbird. Come on.
Is that this one? That one?
That would be Dark Miss Marvel you've got there. That would be a different woman, a completely different
Of
blonde
course.
woman.
Yes, this is a different figure to the one Ryan Ting picked. Of course, yes, my bad. My apologies. Just double checking. All right, cool. Let's keep going through. All right, I'm out of order again. I'm not going to scroll back down. Back down. Okay. Okay, so this is when they, after the draft, they got into the X-Men reveals and they recapped what we already knew. So we already knew about Fabian Cortez from the Acolytes. Ponytail confirmed once again. He comes with those blast effects we have seen many times before. I think last time we got them was maybe on a Iron Fist, maybe, but we have had them in other places. So there's Fabian Cortez. Then they showed off the Gambit again. Again, Gambit was revealed at Brazil Comic-Con just yesterday. It is an Age of Apocalypse Gambit. So again, as I said, Dan Yoon has been breakdancing to get some airway figures out there. And again, it's got the same cape as Cable, the live-action Cable, which I did say on yesterday's stream, and nobody confirmed it for me, but it is the same live action Cable cape they have reused. Then we also got the X4. Oh, by the way, Ryan did confirm that this was his pick for the Hasbro Pulse fan stream thing, so you were right about this being his pick. Dan's pick was Night Force, Nightcrawler, Night Force. That's G.I. Joe.
Uncanny X-Force.
Yes, that's G.I. Joe. Ignore me. Uncanny X-Force again, which is this. It's AOA Nightcrawler that went into the 616. He has the sort of red on his eye. And they give you two head sculpts, one with red eyes and one with yellow eyes. So apparently they were drawn differently in the comics. I'm not aware of that detail. Rich, were you aware of that? Is that a true statement? He had different colour eyes in the comics?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't pay that much attention, obviously, but yeah, maybe.
He said, so you got yellow eyes with the stoic face, and then you've got an angry face with the red eyes, and he comes... I would have liked, just because... this is just because of the X-Men animated show. Do you know that scene where he's got two swords? I would have liked a Nightcrawler to come with two swords, just because of that X-Men 97 scene. I know it's got no...
Oh, is he only coming with one sword?
Yeah, he only comes with one
sword.
sword.
I thought that was a sword, like, in a holster. Yeah. What's that then? Go on, move back. No, it's bloody Gambit staff! Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's only one sword. So selfishly, I would have liked two swords. I'm sure...
He needs another one, doesn't he, for his tail? He has, like, three swords.
The tail wouldn't be able to grip it, though. So, like, they would
need to have an alternate tail with, like, a
grip. Yeah, I agree. An alternate tail with a grip for a sword on the end, which they haven't done yet, but there's an idea for the next Nightcrawler out there, because it's not bendy wire, is it? It's just a ball joint, isn't it? That articulates in the ball joint. So, but anyway, Nightcrawler's there. So we've seen those. Those three figures had already been confirmed. Let's get into the new. Before I allow Rich to go off with Husk, let's have a super chat from Ashaholic. He says, we saw the Spider-Man packaging. Do we think we're getting the square window packaging with the X-Men wave? They've showed off what the packaging looks like for the X-Men wave. We've seen it for the pre-order. It looks like this. Square packaging. It's the same as the Black Heart.
Strange Tales.
Yeah, Black Heart, and they're moving away from the curved, the slanted edges, and I think they're going for the square boxes because
you've got it there. Show your mood store again.
Yeah, there you go. They're continuing. They're continuing with the square boxes now because they can pack more into a box and then fit more into distribution, and then they save more on shipping eventually, I assume, or maybe it's just a redesign. I don't know. But yeah, it's the square boxes, Ashaholic. Now you know. The more you know. Right. Anyway, back to Hush. So, Rich, we knew what was coming. Monet's body was going to get reused again for another character from Generation X, and they've done Paige. I think they've done her justice here. I think I always think it's important to represent a character's ability in figure form. And granted, this one was quite awkward, and we speculated maybe an interchangeable arm or an interchangeable head. And not only did they give us the interchangeable head, we've got like a skin face peeling accessory, and they showed off a picture. Let me see if I can find it, where they've got like a peeling her face off there. So, Rich, what do you think? You're a big Generation X fan. That's what you've been clamoring for.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, this looks amazing. I was really glad with how they pulled this off. I think literally pulled it off. I think with Husk, there was always like, how were they going to do it? Because technically they could have just done that. They could have just done like
blonde hair on a figure
with that, which that could have been it. That could have been all they done, or they could have done like an alternate arm. Because literally, she rips off all his skin, and then she can be like different elements, different metals underneath. Yeah. So how they've done it with the face coming off, I think it looks great. The fact that it's got 2 alternate heads is great. Obviously, it's a lot of reuse from the Monet body. But as you know, what is my speciality, Dan, in the Marvel universe?
Breasts.
It is boobs.
Breasts.
And they are much smaller boobs than Monet has, which is comic accurate. Because Monet was like a supermodel. Paige was like an average teenage girl. And then Jubilee was like a dowdy, like flat-chested teenage girl. So the fact that they did a new breastplate for Husk is a good thing. It varies up from Monet. They're gonna stand apart on the shelf and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good. Again, it's an easy layup because most of it is reused from that Monet. But I think for what it is, for what they've done, this is amazing. As you know, it's an anniversary year of Generation X. So I'm glad that the anniversary year we got one figure revealed. It's not on the retro card, but never mind. 5 more years time, 10 more years time, there's more anniversaries to come, Dan. I've always got hope for that retro card.
I hold the hope with you. But yeah, I see what your point. So I think the advantage sometimes, I've always said reuse is fair game if it makes sense to the character design. Like if they have the tooling there that's accurate to the source material, then why not just use it again? So I don't think reuse is always a bad thing, and sometimes it allows them maybe to add in that extra accessory that we wouldn't have got if they had to tool up new legs or something like that. So I'm quite happy to have the interchangeable heads, and like you said, even though it is the same body as Monet, if she has got a different upper torso, then proportionally they are going to look a little bit different on the shelf, which is what 2 women would look like if they're both wearing the same costume. They're going to look different depending on their proportions. So
I'll take your word for that. I don't know many women, Dan, so I haven't got a clue.
Well, I would assume that. I would assume the case. So yeah, I like it. And again, another character at Generation X. So in the sort of modern Hasbro era, we have Monet Senqua, Husk, and Chamber, and
and technically that the blue and yellow Banshee. I know people want him with his jacket on, but he did have that uniform underneath, so that is technically accurate and can fit in there as well.
Can you use any current Emma Frost as a Emma Frost for Generation X?
No, because that Emma in the beginning, it was when she was in her like corset, jacket, tight leather pants, and bullwhip. That's as head teachers wear. And then later on,
I'd get into so much trouble at that school, Rich. I'm just saying.
What you could do though is like when the kid in the second, there's a couple of eras of Generation X, but when like Terry Dodson took over, he put her in a costume like this, but in white. So technically, that Monet body you could do again in white, put an Emma head on it, and you've got like a Generation X Emma around the Dodson era.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. So there we go. Husk, Paige from Generation X. Next up, finally, the worst ever Marvel Legend has got an upgrade. Let me see if I can just
it hasn't, Dan. It has not. It has not got an upgrade. This is not Ultimate Wolverine. This is Extreme X-Men Wolverine that maybe Rob Pollock asked for, because Extreme X-Men is perhaps one of the worst X-Men series of all time. It's Chris Claremont. When Grant Morrison took over the Xbox, Chris Claremont was kicked off the Xbox for the second time, and he was either he could write one of the Xbox or he could take over a new box. So he created a third Xbox with Extreme X-Men. So it's Storm. It's like they've all got like leather outfits and sunglasses. Wolverine's not even part of the team at the beginning, and then I think it's like issue 20. He joins the team for a bit when they're in this arc. He's been in about 2 arcs, about 10 issues altogether. But yeah, this It's not a great run, but this is an accurate look of Wolverine from that run. This is how he looked. So it's not Ultimate X-Men Wolverine. It's not X-Men Evolution Season 3, 4 Wolverine. This is Extreme X-Men Wolverine.
Extreme X-Men Wolverine. So it's Wolverine in a black costume with a bit of yellow on the shoulders.
But extreme!
Extreme Wolverine. He's wearing black. He's extreme. Was those character designs a little wink and nod to the live action black suits, maybe? Like, when did
that was more what Morrison was doing with the leather. These were more. I think we've had Rogue before. No, it's like a red Rogue with the sunglasses.
Okay, yeah.
That's like the extreme version, and I think the Psylocke was that. I think I had it on the stream where we had like mist figures. Like Psylocke was supposed to be a running change to the Psylocke figure in the Mojo Wave, but they only put out like a couple of that figure. So it's more like she's got the Crimson Dawn, she's got the Garter belts, that kind of thing.
Mike Hex in the chat says, "What do you have against Abraham Lincoln figures?" Is he saying that this looks like Abraham Lincoln? One of the presidents? Is he the very first president?
Did Abraham Lincoln have claws?
I can't remember. I'm not American, so my American history of presidents is a little bit fuzzy.
I only know American history from musicals, so I can tell you about Hamilton, and that's about it.
I just know Abraham Lincoln's known for wearing the big hat, so he doesn't have a big hat, so yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd have to
Is
take
he The Simpsons?
Yeah, all of my American references are from The Simpsons, by the way. Like, I know obscure American history from watching The Simpsons in the late 80s, early 90s. I know a lot of baseball players because of that song as well. Anyway. Extreme Wolverine. So basically, this figure in the wave doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. He doesn't come with an interchangeable head. He just has interchangeable hands. He's got the same hands as the astonishing X-Men Wolverine that we have just got, and it is on the new pinless body. And I can't tell if I don't think it's the astonishing X-Men body. Because it hasn't got the sculpted lines that one does. But the rest of the body is pinless, but it's got the older torso up top with the big, deep butterfly joints and the ab crunch on the front with the gold bout. He's got the new claws, though. The newer claws, which we appreciate, of course. So, yeah, new claws. And then you've got pointing hands, a couple of gesturing hands, I think. We're looking when we look at the packaging in a minute. But Extreme Wolverine, again, it's an X-Men wave. They need an anchor. They need a known character to sort of get the tick by retailers, I assume. It's something we're used to. I'm fine with it. If you want the Build-A-Figure, you don't need to buy him. But if you're a Wolverine fan and you have a Wolverine shelf, Craig, Nostalgic Collection, I'm talking to you, then you can't skip it. You're going to need Extreme Wolverine. Right. Next up is X Factor Cyclops. So California Red Devil was speaking about it earlier. He would like to complete this team. So again, correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, but blue and yellow is from issue 1, like the first sort of outfit, and it goes along with the Jean in the green.
Jean in the green.
Yeah, cool. So and then you've got Beast, Iceman, and the red version of Angel, but he has the X rather than
the X on him.
Yeah. So we're getting close to piecing a team that sort of close to the first version, but we need a Jean Grey, of course, in this outfit.
We're not really, because this is the only one we've got.
Uh-oh. If the stream goes wrong, you're going to have to tell me in the chat. Are you back? I'm panicking now. Is it me?
Has it gone again? I don't know what's that. It seemed to go for a second. Yeah. But this is the only one we've got from X Factor issue 1 is Cyclops.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
We can fudge it, but it's not accurate. Let me get a picture.
You can't fudge it. Because there's no Jean, there's no Angel, the Beast is a bit wrong, and the Iceman needs the big belt on it as well.
Let me just.
No, the belt comes later. Maybe you could fudge it.
This is what I'm saying. You look, just looking at the front cover of issue 1, right? Of course, we need Jean in the green, but yes, Angel's outfit has got the wrong design, but it's still a red Angel. Again, you could fudge it. Beast, it's just blue Beast. And then he doesn't have the bout, at least on the front cover. I don't think... I've definitely seen other images where he doesn't have the bout yet either.
I think it's later in the run that he gets the belt to help stabilize him. So I think for an issue 1, like, you could use an existing Iceman.
So going back to Cyclops before we break it down, it's on the new Vulcan pinless body. It comes with a new blast effect. So that was the big deal about this figure. They kept hyping up. The blast effect now has a point of impact at the top that you can clip into it rather than the blast just blasting off into nothing. So you can now prop that up against the bad guy for displays, for photos, which is nice to see them trying something a little bit different. Granted, the balance may be a little bit off in a display, but good luck to you. Of course, you have the alternative head where he doesn't have the blast effect in as well, which I appreciate. But I do like them trying something different here. Screaming expression, blast effect with a point of impact, with some interchangeable hands. And again, the start of maybe a team we can complete sooner rather than later. They have been teasing, or on the leaked lists, that Jean Grey is out there. But I guess now we have already got the white version of this in our retro card already, but it's on the old Bucky Cat body with the cowboy boots. So it's a little bit outdated, but we have already got the white version of X Factor Cyclops, and that version would go with the Jean in the red outfit, right? Yeah,
the red
they
version,
changed the colours further down the line. So, Rich, what do you think? Do you like this? Are you happy to... I'm sorry, I'm picking the wrong one. Do you like this? Are you happy to get it? Do you think they'll complete the team anytime soon? What are your thoughts on X Factor Cyclops?
I mean, it wasn't one I was like screaming out for. I think there was like Jean would have been a much better figure to do, or even like the Brown Beast when he's like more in his human form, where he's got that X uniform. But as it is, I like the X Factor run, I like the Simpsons run, and I like the Peter David run. I like all of X Factor. So yeah, I will definitely be picking up this one.
Yeah, I'm in on this. And again, there is a Jean Grey on rumoured leaked lists out there. So now it just depends which Jean we get. Now we've got the reveal of this Cyclops in the blue and yellow. I would prefer the Jean that gets revealed to be the green and yellow one that we get on the front cover here, rather than the red, because then the red goes with the outdated version of Cyclops rather than with a nice new pinless version. Just selfishly myself.
But for me, Red Jean is where Jean is like, it's like peak Jean Grey for me.
Stories,
like Red Jean fighting Madeline in Inferno with the red thing, with the babies, with Sinister. I love Red Jean is my favourite costume for Jean Grey. For the red and the yellow X, that would be the version that I would like.
Yeah, I think Daysprings was saying that on his podcast as well, where Red Jean is what they want. But just for me, it pairs up with the older version of Cyclops in Marvel Legends form, which I prefer the new one. But I see your point, exactly. And we could probably get both Jeans down the line at some point anyway. Cheeky Monkey Kiara's in the chat. How you doing, Cheeky Monkey? She says, he's got fireworks coming out of his face. I'll have one of them. Well, I don't know if Jay has showed you, Kiara, but he has just got a 12-inch version of Cyclops that also shoots fireworks out of his face. If you ask nicely, he might let you look at his 12-inch version of Cyclops. Yeah, he arrived today. He's got it for sure. So this wave so far has a Cyclops, it has a Gambit, it has a Wolverine, but then it has 3 new characters in the line we've never had either. But we are not done yet because we've got another first time in the line. Now, we see Cable here making a quick cameo because this has been dubbed the Capcom Cable. Now, it was never officially called the Capcom Cable, as they have definitely been avoiding using the word Capcom. But we all know what it's in reference to. So they brought Capcom Cable out onto the table because they thought this next reveal may pair up with it very nicely. And I would have to agree with them because we are getting Marrow in the Marvel Legends line. Now, Marrow has been on my X-Men want list since about 2019. I remember going through my phone. I had a list of figures I wanted. Most had been hit within like the 5-6 years since, apart from Marrow. So Marrow here looking very nice in the design she was in the not only the game but also the comics as well, of course, with some nice effect pieces, some really nice sculpting as well. She genuinely does look really, really good. She's on like the Shriek articulation scheme because they've obviously had to tool in some new pieces for the knees, for the upper torso. So it seems like she's probably got the ball joint at the upper torso and not a crunch at the waist like the updated Black Widows we've got of recently. But she has the double jointed elbows. I like the colours. I like the sort of bone effects on the back as well. I don't think they're removable, but I'm not sure. I know she pulls out weapons and stuff from her body, but I don't think those 4 on the back are removable because she has her own pieces to use. But look how low she can get there. So the articulation must be pretty good. But yes, Marrow, I think looks really good. And if you're a fan of the Capcom games, like, that's a great pose for Marrow. She looks great in that stand there. So if you're a fan of the Capcom games, I think you're going to be happy with this one. And again, they did tease more Capcom figures, but again, we can discuss that on another day. Rich, Marrow, you like this one?
I love this one, and we've never had this look from Marrow in action figure form. You had a like earlier, more grotesque look from like G Nation, back in the Toy Biz line. But this version was the one I think I wanted the most, and yeah, it looks great. I like how they've done the bone effects. Like they could have done more. I mean, I think if anyone needed an alternate head, it probably would be Marrow with a more like angry face with maybe like the bone crown or the bones coming out of her head. I think I would have preferred that to like Nightcrawler getting an extra head. But then I understand why, because this is a lot of new sculpting. Nightcrawler is a lot of reuse, and so giving him an extra head makes sense. I'm like, I like this look for Marrow. So again, she's more pretty in this version. She's less of a monster, but it equally reflects like her early appearances when she joined the X-Men team. I think Joe Mad was drawing it back then. It was like Operation Zero Tolerance. She teams up with, I think it's Iceman and Cecilia Reyes, and then ends up joining the main X-Men team after that and sticks around for a couple of years. But obviously, she's in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as a character in that. It goes with that Cable. And if all the leaks are right, we're going to be getting more Capcom Marvel superheroes next year. So to get Marrow is great. I really like this look. And it's a look that she's gone back to more recently as well in Realm of X. She's back in this look again. So it is kind of like accurate to people who like more modern day figures. It's accurate to that as well. And yeah, I think it looks great. If it's got all that articulation, it can do everything that she can do there, then yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I think they made a point of showing off how articulated she is in the photos. I don't mind these Capcom figures because Cable and Marrow are both in the main line sort of Build-A-Figure waves, but they obviously represent comic and Capcom appearances because, of course, Capcom picked designs from the comics they liked for the game. So these are absolutely fair game for a comic display, but if later down the line people want to build out their own sort of Capcom display, then these can be fair game for that as well. So yeah, for me, these are absolutely going in my comic X-Men display, but I understand they're a big reference to the Capcom games as well that we will get more of in 2025. They basically kept teasing that as well. That was another verbal tease that they were given throughout. Oh, we may get more. They never used Capcom though. They never said the word Capcom ever. I do think there's clearly some sort of trademark or something going on where they can't say Capcom, but the figures are Marvel properties.
Well, all the Capcom looks come from the all the main looks come from the comic books, so they can get away with it. They could do this line of like they could just call it Marvel versus. They wouldn't even have to say Capcom.
Marvel video game, Marvel whatever. Yeah, I'll be curious to see if those Capcom 2-packs that are currently rumored turn out to be true, how they are marketed and branded, because so far they have avoided using the word Capcom even just by saying it. So anyway, interesting, but absolutely she looks great. Now, me and Rich were saying yesterday that it's unlikely they're going to reveal 2 waves, but by the end of the stream we were like, oh okay, it makes sense actually, because they're revealing 2 different styles, and a retro wave, a Build-A-Figure wave. But then Rich was like, maybe they won't reveal the Build-A-Figure. And I was like, you're right. That is definitely a Hasbro move where they'd make us wait for the Build-A-Figure, especially if there's not a pre-order date yet. They could save that pre-order a date for the Build-A-Figure reveal, which they have done in the past.
And that's what they said at the beginning when they started revealing is these will be going up at a later date.
Yes.
It won't be before in December. So I was like, oh, they're not going to reveal the Build-A-Figure then. That's going to be like, stay tuned, and we'll come back in January.
Exactly what I thought. But then Dwight, during the stream, when they got the the Cyclops figure out, he says, maybe that blast could hit a Build-A-Figure. And then from then, I was like, okay, we're getting the Build-A-Figure today. So thank you very much, Dwight. But here we go. Let's get into it. So this is the Build-A-Figure that Dwight Stall has been hyping up. This is what I think they're referring to internally as the Red Brick Wave, because the Build-A-Figure, they are calling it, but Rich has got some qualms, but we'll come to that. They are calling this the Nemesis Build-A-Figure. So again, Nemesis is a character that we have had in the Marvel Legends line before. It's, of course, Holocaust from the AOA books that they sort of had to rename. And in figure form, he was branded as Nemesis in one of the early sort of dark days of Hasbro. I think it was a Target exclusive line where we got the Build-A-Figure Nemesis. We showed it off in a previous stream. Pretty outdated now. Not easy to find, though, either, to be honest. So the character Holocaust or Nemesis was definitely a character I think people would appreciate another go at. I don't even have it in my collection. And then they reveal this, which is definitely a modern take on the character. So Rich, take it away. Who is this? Is this Nemesis, and what is his character design? Give people the ins and outs of this.
So in the same way that the current Dark Warbird is not Dark Warbird, it's Dark Miss Marvel, this is not Nemesis. It's not even Holocaust. This is genocide, because Marvel decided they couldn't use the word Holocaust. That was too bad. They had to rename it Nemesis. So let's pick a better name. Oh, genocide. Let's call the character Marvel's Genocide and put that on the shelf. So I understand why they're not using the name Genocide, because I think Build-A-Figure Wave Genocide probably wouldn't sell well at your Targets and your Walmarts. So this is Marvel's Nemesis, which is the 616 version of Holocaust. So it is the son of Apocalypse and Famine, and he debuts in this look in the Uncanny X-Force run, the Dark Angel saga, all that. So he technically ties in with AOA, Nightcrawler in his X-Force costume more than he ties in with Gambit, because they go together. Now, he's a character that he's the same as Holocaust, but obviously he's not, because he hasn't been in the Age of Apocalypse. He's a badass, but he's more like mentally unstable, I would say, than Holocaust. So the original Holocaust, I think someone said in the chat, was killed in the Exiles series. It was, who was it? It was Hyperion. Hyperion killed Holocaust. So this is the version that has been in the 616, and it is the version that is part of main continuity. Now, he did die in the 616. I think it was the Apocalypse twins came and like took all his energy out, but then he was brought back in like the Krakoa era. Everyone was like resurrected, and he showed up quite recently. He was in the Heir to Apocalypse X-Men miniseries. It was kind of like in between House of X to the, what's the new one called? From the Ashes, the new era of X-Men. There was like a little mini-series where it was like who was going to be the next heir to the throne of Apocalypse. And he shows up in that, and he kills Monet in that, doesn't he? Due to Exodus's stupid activities, but Monet dies in that. He takes out Monet, he takes out Richter, he takes out Nature Girl. It's a whole thing. Basically, it's kind of like the Hunger Games with X-Men characters. People are just dying left, right, and center. But yeah, he is still around in the comic books. I think Exodus does take him off the field anyway, but there's still scope for him to come back. So yeah, it is a different character. It is nice, but it's not technically Holocaust. I would have much rather the Holocaust look. I love it. I want him to go with my Blink, with my. I would love. They could still do that. They could still do a 2-pack of Holocaust from his AOA look with an updated Joe Mad Blink. That's what I want more than anything. But this does look like a cracking figure. Essentially, it's a figure we haven't had before, because we haven't had the 616 version of this. And it's like, if you squinted in for a far, I'm sure you can fudge it in to an AOA look if you wanted to, and to an AOA display. You put them at the back.
Yeah, thank you very much for that information, because again, I was unaware. I assumed it was just a modern take on the Nemesis Holocaust character within the 616. But no, it's genocide. So now we know. But again, like Rich said, it's probably unlikely the Hasbro team could have called him genocide. So they've dumbed it down a little bit for the overall audience, which I understand they have to do these things sometimes. But now we know. And Rich, do we also think we finally have the answer? Is that tease ring any bells?
That's the whip, the one that we thought with all these characters. It turns out a massive whip.
I told you it was a pipe. People never listen to me. I told people it was a pipe. I'd seen the big picture, and I said it's a pipe. And again, we never guessed it was this because we wasn't even looking in this direction. But that has to be the answer to that clue. Has to be the pipe. Has to be, right? I'm going to try and get confirmation of that from Dwight or Ryan, just for my own, so I can sleep at night. But it has to be. Also, people are assuming that Spike is from Marrow. But for me, that Spike's a bit grey. It looks a bit flat. I'm not confident that spike is Marrow in the same way I'm confident that pipe is from Genocide.
Oh, I would say go back to Marrow. It's definitely one of Marrow's bones, surely.
Like,
it's the tip of it's that, but obviously it's a prototype in a different color plastic. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Photoshop and get in on that. The shapes.
Enhance.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not as confident on that one. I'm going to get confirmation on these hints because me and Rich were hoping that they wrapped up the year with all of these teasers, and hopefully they have, because then they'll give us 3 more. But yeah, that original tease has to be the one for Genocide, aka Holocaust, aka Nemesis. The Build-A-Figure is called Nemesis. But let's just think about this as a Marvel Legend now. Let's just look at this. Completely brand new sculpt here from head to toe, completely pinless. It is basically a mech suit body. Reminds me of like Mandroid's proportions, but a bit better. He's got the translucent orange helmet, and I love that it comes off, so it actually reveals the skeleton head with the translucent flame effects inside, which are a nice contrast to the sort of bronziness and also the orange highlights.
Articulated jaw as well. Articulated jaw.
Yeah. You've got a one-fisted hand, but then you've also got the other hand with a hole in it, so you can probably put some of those Iron Man blast effects in there. I'm assuming so, as you've got the port there as well. So yeah, and then there's a different hand there as well. So you must come with interchangeable hands for the other arm. But yeah, I like that you can display him with the helmet off as well. And yeah, he looks big and imposing. And at the end of the day, this looks like a solid wave. Yes, there's different versions of characters that may not be your mind's eye, but for people that are trying to complete teams and their favorite incarnations of X-Men characters, this line again, if you're an X-Men fan, probably has something for everybody. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm a sucker for this stuff, so I'm all in regardless. But yeah, I'm happy with this Build-A-Figure. And again, yesterday we did guess it would be Nemesis if we had to guess with the AOA connections, but Nemesis by name, but maybe not by accuracy to the AOA storyline. But Rich, regardless of all of that, do you like the look of this Build-A-Figure, and are you going to be trying to track this down?
Yeah, 100%. I'll definitely be adding this. Every one of these figures, even rubbish Extreme X-Men Wolverine, even Cyclops in his X-Factor outfit when we haven't got the rest of the team. I will be getting all of these. I think it's a solid X-Men wave. Like, you've got mainstay characters like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Cyclops for everyone. You've got like 3 figures we've never had before with Fabian Cortez, Paige, and Marrow. Then you've got like a Gambit in his AOA version, which is like AOA, like added figure to that is great.
You get 2 full waves of AOA, so it makes sense to add extra characters that people were missing for sure. That's a display
100%.
Right there, yeah.
And yeah, especially because I think all the main characters, a lot of the main characters anyway, have been done now. But if we could just get like 1 or 2 a year, like to fill out that team, that would be great. And technically, Genocide's a new character as well, because we've only had the AOA version, we've never had the 616 version. So, and I think this looks great. I think it looks like a good Build-A-Figure. I understand why it's being like put across as Marvel's Nemesis because of what like Genocide means and everything. I'm more happy with this than I am with Dark Miss Marvel and Dark Warbird. But yeah, I mean, it looks good, and I'll definitely be adding it to the shelf.
I'm completely agree with everything Rich says. You know me. For me, collecting Marvel Legends is all about world building, recreating that plastic that Marvel universe in plastic on our shelves. And I think the Legends team are doing a great job. We're moving in a great direction with the pinless tech. The accessories are usually bang on. Not always, but in recent time, they're definitely doing better. And the boxes, all of the boxes look packed. Like, there is no box there, apart from maybe Wolverine, who, again, doesn't even have the Build-A-Figure piece. So if you don't want him, you can skip him. But the rest of the boxes look pretty packed there, not just with the Build-A-Figure, but with the accessories for each character. So I feel the value a little bit better with this than I have in previous waves. And it just looks good. Again, it's all about world building and completing teams. Like Rich said, if you're an AOA fan, there's something there for you. If you're an X Factor fan, you're starting something new there. Marrow fits in different places, just a brand new character to the line. Generation X getting some love, pairs up with the recent Monet and Chamber that we have, so you're adding more characters to that section of your shelf. Fabian Cortez, again, another character that just starts off a whole Acolytes display if they're going to go in that direction. Hopefully they will. And then X-Force, Nightcrawler. We've got plenty of characters that are in the grey and black. And like you said, that is the actual team that goes up against this Nemesis, right? This Genocide.
Yeah.
That is that team.
And that was another tease where, like, I think Ryan said, like, maybe there'd be more. Uncanny X-Force is a good... Oh, I think it was Dan. Uncanny X-Force is a good team, and stay tuned. So hopefully we'll be getting some more updated versions of them. That's it.
So technically we have a Wolverine, a grey and black Wolverine. We have a black Cyclops, not Cyclops, Psylocke. Granted, we could do with a better articulated Psylocke. We have yet to get Psylocke on the updated female body, but we did get a free pack with Nimrod, Phantom X, and Psylocke. So we have Psylocke in the black. We have Phantom X. We have a grey Deadpool. We have a grey and black Wolverine. And there are versions of Archangel out there, but we could probably do with a better one. So adding Nightcrawler to the mix, you've now added a big bad to the mix. So I do think that this Nemesis Build-A-Figure, or aka Genocide, could fit in multiple places in the display. He could either be the big bad or the centerpiece to an AOA display, if you're willing to just blur the lines a little bit with the character design, or he could be a big bad in more of a modern X-Force display, not the Cable X-Force and those type of designs, the more modern grey and black costumes, because I know we've got other versions as well, and there are rumoured to get more. I know there's a 2-pack out there rumoured for X-23 and Warpath. I know we've got Deathlock already in the grey, so yeah, multiple places.
I think we've gone over it before, though. That it's like mixing eras, like Warpath and X-23 are like the Yost and Kyle X-Force, which was just before this one. But Uncanny X-Force, it's an amazing... I think Jay just said in the chat, he's got the Uncanny and Omnibus, and he'd better read it. So if you missed out, the whole Omnibus, which is like the whole collection of Uncanny X-Force, it was recently re-released like a couple of months ago, so it should still be available. If you've never read it, it is an epic story. It's very much self-contained in itself, but it's all about these, like, Apocalypse. It's all this group of characters. They kind of like do something like behind Cyclops' back. They're gonna try and sort something out. Deadpool, honestly, it's one of my favorite characterizations of Deadpool. He's like friends with like the little child clone of Apocalypse, which I know sounds corny, but honestly, you have to read it. It is really good. Like, it's the whole Psylocke, Archangel, Phantom X love triangle going on. It is honestly one of the best runs, I think, for any X-Force that doesn't involve Cable or the New Mutant Kids. This is a great story, and if you just pick it up, read it as one. And I think if you read it, you'll want to be getting Nightcrawler and Genocide then, so definitely pick it up.
Yeah, no, again, I'm excited. For me, and I know you said that like it's blurring the generations, but for me, like when I'm building my displays, if they're wearing grey and black in the X-Force, it doesn't matter what era, they're standing together.
They're going together.
They're standing together. So I'm going to have X-23 and everything with them. But yeah, no, I love it. So yeah, this is a Build-A-Figure wave, the first Build-A-Figure wave of 2025. No pre-order date for this one, but I'm assuming it will probably go up early January, if not towards the end of the year. We shall see, but it's nice to know it's coming. Again, last year we did start off the year with 2 Build-A-Figure waves. We got 2 waves. We got a retro card Spider-Man wave and then the Void Build-A-Figure wave. They hit early last year, sort of towards the end of 2023, to be honest. So this seems to be in the same pattern. We are getting a retro wave with the Spider-Man and then a Build-A-Figure wave to kick off the year with this Nemesis. But now you know it's Genocide. But again, it's your display. You create your own rules. There's no right or wrong answer. We just love talking about these characters and how they fit into the wider world we are collecting. As I said, world building is such a key aspect to collecting. Otherwise, just mix characters all over the place. It would make no sense. Right, let me close some of these tabs, Rich, and then we'll get into the teasers, because we may have got some answers to other teasers, but there are more now. There are more to break down. So let's just go through the teasers from yesterday. I just want to confirm with you and the chat that they have been answered. We now have them answered. Let's find this picture. So, okay. Confident. Right, these are all the teasers from last year, okay? Spider-Boy, done. Confirmed. We knew that a while ago. Spider-Man Unlimited, done, confirmed. We got that today. Chameleon, done, confirmed. Happy days. It's the J. Jonah Jameson squashed mask that comes with the animated Chameleon. Beautiful stuff. Last 2 teasers. Is that Marrow and Genocide?
I would say yes. I would say yes.
Again, that pipe just seems too obvious on the back for it not to be the pipe. We're just seeing it and a different promo image maybe, because Dwight's going to have access to all the different promo images and the different backgrounds.
People are thinking it's a loop, but the top does look, it's a bit darker, so it does look like it's one bit going over the top of the other bit.
Yeah, I've seen the actual picture. It's just a grainy, blurry picture. I've seen this picture blown up, and the loop's it's not a loop that connects. It definitely overlaps.
Yeah.
So it could 100%. I genuinely think it's this, because just think, why would Dwight had this on his computer, and he just clipped it from a different angle, a different promo image. Yeah.
They should have released that one like more, because I don't think anyone would have guessed this, or even if they'd have guessed like Holocaust, I don't think they would have guessed Genocide. Yeah. So I think they should have done that, because I think I think Marrow was more obvious than that one. A lot of people guessed Marrow,
so
but I didn't see anyone. More people were going like Crosswhip, Hussar, like those kinds of characters.
I'm going to reach out to the Hasbro team. For if any of the Hasbro team are lurking on tonight's stream, and you can confirm for us in the chat right now, I would appreciate your time. Is this the Nemesis Build-A-Figure and Marrow? Is that what these 2 teasers are? Because if they are, it's safe game to confirm to us. But like, the Marrow one just doesn't sit right with me, because it's more grey than a bone colour. So I know it could be a prototype in the same way they teased the mask for Chameleon. That's obviously a prototype. It could just be a different colour. But I don't know. They showed that off in person, where they showed that off as a digital render.
No, they didn't show it off in person. It was just on the screen.
Exactly, but it was on the screen where this was in their hands. So that's what makes me think this is a picture chopped from a promo image, where this is an actual prototype. Again, I'm overthinking it. I don't know. I'm going to reach out to the team for confirmation. But anyway, let's get into these new teasers, because there are 3 new teasers that the Hasbro team know we love this stuff, and I appreciate them for it, because again, it incites conversation, and that's what it's all about. So here we have our 3 teasers for today. So from the left to the right, we've got like a brown staff with a bird on top. We have a spider web, a new type of spider web we've seen in the middle. And then we have like 3 black sort of throwy thing effects, maybe. So let's go through these one by one. You can join it in the chat, but I think at least one of these is very obvious. The other 2 up for debate, but we're sort of nowhere to point in the first direction. Rich, what is that staff?
So it is now confirmed that people thought Hasbro were getting out of the toy business. They've now got the Masters of the Universe license, and they're going to bring us the Sorceress, Dan. That's the Sorceress's staff in it. That's what that is, yeah? Is that right?
Adam Warlock.
Oh, come on. How did I not know it was Adam Warlock? What's going on?
In the dark days of Hasbro and the Red Hulk Build-A-Figure wave, we had Adam Warlock in his more traditional colours. He also had the Infinity Gauntlet on in that figure. But you will see he is also holding his staff in that Marvel Legend. And again, there are rumours out there we're going to get a new updated Adam Warlock. So yeah, this is the old Marvel Legend Adam Warlock holding the very same accessory. So there's no doubt in my mind, or the chat's mind, because they're all saying the same thing, that first accessory piece is for a brand new Marvel Legends Adam Warlock, hopefully in the golden red.
Not the Sorceress?
Not the Sorceress. I do apologise about that. But yeah.
Not Captain Sorceress is not coming?
Not indeed. No. What is your guess? So Adam Warlock for the first one. Again, sort of obvious. It's Adam Warlock. Happy with that. Second one could literally be any Spider-Man character in the history of the Spider-Verse. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a spider web. Like, is there, like, again, the chat will have to help me out with this. Is there a Spider-Man character whose special ability or is superly known for this spider effect? Otherwise, this could be anything. Damien in the chat is saying Madam Web. I'd love it to be Madam Web. But again, it's just a Spider-Man related character. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I'm going with you. It could be any, but I can't think of a specific.
Exactly.
But then they're holding it like that. It could be that it's like shooting that way.
No,
I can't think.
No, Dwight's just being an idiot. He's giving Nemesis a head massage. Honestly, Dan originally held it the other way, but I'll just put it in this for the sake of showing all 3 at once. But yeah, it's not a head massager for Nemesis. Just to confirm to anyone out there.
I I think Mike Hex could be onto something. It could be some kind of Capcom, like for Venom or for Spider-Man. Like it could be one of those figures because he does he does do the web swing over. So that would fit, and that would be a good place to put new web effects because essentially it's probably just going to be like a recolored figure of another version of Spider-Man or Venom, isn't it? If the rumors are true.
Yeah, no, a Capcom Spider-Man or Venom, because Venom's a bit more blue tinted in the game, isn't he? If I remember correctly.
I think that's the one people would like as well. Would be that version.
Well, it's
of
the
Venom.
one that makes the most sense connected with the game. If they're going to do game-inspired versions, it's got to be a blue tinted Venom. I'm assuming a deluxe pack like Hulk, because Spidey is rumored too. Is he not? So Jamie's referring to, again, the leak lists are out there for everybody to see, and on one of the leak lists there is a Hulk and a Spider-Man deluxe set. Now, what that means, we don't know yet, but we have been asking the Hasbro team for a long time to give us these A-list characters, but packed with accessories, like all the accessories we could possibly want for that character packed in as a deluxe. So maybe that is just a web that we're going to get with a future deluxe Spider-Man. Maybe. Good guess. A lot of people are saying dead Gwen Stacy. That's harsh. The Marvel vs. Capcom Venom does a move similar to this, says Alec in the chat. So yeah, okay. So people are thinking, obviously it's Spider-Man related, but it could be Venom or Spider-Man for the Capcom game. Now the last one, a little bit less obvious, but I do think people are pointing in the right direction again with this one. And Ryan jumped in quickly to say that this wasn't finished yet, so whether the colour changes or something, I don't know. But it's 3 black daggery joined things. So the biggest and probably the best guess I've seen from the chat so far, and I've seen on YouTube and etc., is this is going to be Archangel, and this is like throwing metal effects from Archangel.
Like his feathers coming out. It could be that. What? It also though, it looks a bit like like Long Shot. It looks like Long Shot's kind of like the knives that he throws out, so it could be like a modern day version of Long Shot is more of a long shot than Archangel, hey. But also as well, right? So if it was in this colour, so like Craig said yesterday about Gambit when we did the stream about like a card effect for a new Gambit. But at one point, Gambit was one of the Horsemen of Apocalypse. He was Death in I think the Peter Milligan run of X-Men, Blood of Apocalypse. But yeah, this. So it could be that Death version, which is an all-black Gambit. It could be like him, like throwing out like these knives, like these kinetically charged knives out there. It could be that. Okay. It could also, if you put it on the side and you had 2 of them, could it be like Bastian from his like final form in like X-Men 97? It could be that. I'm just putting lots of stuff out there now. One of them might be right if I say enough. That's what I've worked out.
Doc Avenger in the chat is on the same wavelength as you. He says Ultimate Bastion. Absolutely could be. Shout out Tanner, who had a good suggestion as well. Do you know they're slowly building the Dark Avengers team in the sort of modern era now? We've got the 3-pack and the Cabal 3-pack with Norman Osborn. We've got Dark Miss Marvel, definitely not Dark Walkbird. So Tanner was saying that maybe this could be the version of Hawkeye, the dark sort of Hawkeye.
The bullseye version of Hawkeye.
Yes, throwing out some sort of effects or some knives or something like that, which is interesting. But out of all of them,
Tanner should have typed that in the chat. Why didn't he type it in the chat?
He's gone to bed. He's asleep. He's not he's gone to bed or something. But yeah, he said that on Jay's stream earlier, which is also another good guess. I do think so far, out of all the guesses, probably leaning more towards Archangel. More so because I want a new Archangel. I don't have this version of Archangel. He came in the 3-pack, which was an old Toys R Us. Not Toys R Us, it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I think. Now, since then, we have got an updated version of both Psylocke and Wolverine in the grey and black. Granted, both of them already could do with an upgrade. We definitely need a Psylocke with that new articulated female body. Absolutely, we do. But we've had...
But hang on, I just got to say that if they are going to put a Psylocke on that articulated body, if they do this before they do the classic Purple Ninja,
I agree.
Like Purple Ninja first, and that should be in Marvel versus Capcom, because in the first Marvel Superheroes game, she's the only, I think, female like in the line. She's in Children of the Atom, the original X-Men game, the fighting game with there. So yeah, they need to do purple Psylocke first. I will happily take X-Full Psylocke, but I need an updated purple Psylocke first. They won't now. It'll be this one, Dan, won't it? It'll be this one, Dan. You spot my dreams now.
No, I'm sorry about that. People in the chat are definitely confident it is it's Archangel. Yeezer Toy Guy says you can money in the bank. Thank you, Mike Kex. You can clearly see the Archangel feather shape molded in. It looks almost identical to the long shotted feather fletchies or
fletchettes.
So you can sort of see. Yeah, I do think that's probably the best clue. We're just having fun guessing other things, that's all. It's just part of a fun conversation, that's all. It'd be pretty boring if we all just said the same thing and then moved on. So let's just jump around a little bit. Let's speculate for the sake of speculation, for the sake of a fun conversation. And Mike Heck says, was that clue during the sweater gift for Orange Deadpool? No, I think what you're thinking about is they were talking about football teams or basketball teams. I think Dwight's team is orange related. Yeah. So there you go. 3 teasers. So yeah, Archangel. Out of all those guesses, I think an Ultimate Bastion would be another wanted figure for the X-Men 97 line. But they don't usually tease MCU or those type of things. Usually it's comic-based teasers, isn't it? So yeah, I'd say Archangel. I'd be happy with that. Would you take another Archangel in the...
Yeah, I think Archangel, and I mean, he's such a big part of that Uncanny X-Force run. I would say, like, Archangel gets a lot of storyline in that. So, yeah, absolutely would love an Archangel. Because I didn't get that STCC set. I think I've got, like, a version of Wolverine, because they did a single pack, didn't they, of the Wolverine. But I haven't got, like, Psylocke or Archangel, so I would definitely take an Archangel. And we've had an Angel this year, and we've had an Archangel not that long ago. So I would be okay with a wide release of an X-Force Archangel. I approve of that, but not Psylocke yet.
Someone in the chat saying it could be Blackout. I guess it could. I'm trying to have a look.
I think though that's because we are focusing on this, it being black.
But it's
and I'm thinking from what Ryan said that it's not going to be black.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be chrome. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be chrome or something. That's an early prototype because it's cheaper to give you a prototype not in the chrome colours, but when you get the figure it's going to be chrome. So yeah, I also agree. I think that's not going to end up... The other two will probably end up looking like that. That black one is definitely going to change by the time we see it. Mike Hex is putting into the universe it could be Mephisto. Don't get me started, Mike. Don't get me started. I will follow those breadcrumbs. Dark Orc Tanner was clearly not near the computer when I was shouting him out, giving his suggestion, because now he has jumped in with the Dark Hawkeye. We were just talking about it, Tanner. We were just talking about it.
He said Husk was the crap figure of the wave, so I banned him. And I think I banned him for like 3 months or something. And then I had to like try and like change the settings. And I banned him to 60 seconds. I just wanted to make sure he could speak. I thought, oh no, he's never going to be able to speak again. That's terrible.
Follow the crumbs, said Encounter Culture. No, don't make me do it. I will follow them to the wrong place. So there you go. We ended the stream with 3 new teasers for 2025. But technically, everything we got shown today was for 2025. The Spider-Man wave and the X-Men wave of 2025. So same question, Rich, as I close some tabs. I'll get the X-Men wave up in its entirety. Let's see your top 3 from the from the X-Men wave, please, including the Builder-Figure. Your top 3.
Oh, this is hard because I generally apart from really Wolverine and I don't hate Wolverine and Cyclops, but I think this is a really good wave. So number 3, I'm gonna put AOA Gambit because again I love Gambit in the AOA. Gambit in the Externals is one of my favorite one. I would love if they did Lila Cheney, if they did Jubilee in her AOA look, they did Sunspot, like a strong guy, like. Great looks for everyone, but yeah, to get Gambit I think he's the biggest of all the characters missing from the AOA so far. He's kind of got that top spot for me, so to get him is great. Number 2, I'm going to call Marrow at number 2 because again, female action figure, G Nation, Generation X bad guy turned X-Men good guy, and also Marvel vs. Capcom as well. I love this look for Marrow. But of course, my number 1 figure, it's got to be Paige Guthrie herself. It's got to be Husk with some Generation X love. I'm happy now. If we get 1 Generation X figure every 2 years, I'll be a happy but very old man if that's how they're going to do it. But I will put up with it. So yeah, I'm glad we've got Husk. Hopefully, Sync and Skin and Penance and Jubilee and even Emma Frost as well. Hopefully, none of them are too far away. Maybe a Mondo Build-A-Figure as well.
I do hope we get the Generation X retro card at some point. It's like one of the lingering retro cards, or one of the lingering Toy Biz packaging that we haven't had remade and haven't got a tribute of yet. The chat are giving me their top threes. If you do give me I'll read them out.
I think there must be like a counter in Hasbro as well. When you say stuff like Chameleon, the more you say things, and they must like count up the things. Did we say Generation X retro card enough? There's got to be some hope for it somewhere.
Look, it happened, people. We made it happen. The community made it happen, but it made sense for Chameleon and the retro card to happen. Right, in regards for my top three, Rich isn't drafting anything. He's answering a question that I asked. All right, don't you? Rich doesn't draft things. Rich doesn't draft things. My top three. I'm going to say Husk, Marrow, and then the Build-A-Figure. I just like the Build-A-Figure, and I'm gonna go and look. I'm gonna read some of the Uncanny X-Force story to learn more about him. But I love adding new characters to the display. Monet and Chamber need some friends. Husk in there. I like that she's in the matching uniform, and I like how she's not completely identical to Monet. They did change up a little bit. And Marrow's an X-Men character that I've always liked her character design and power set. I learned about Marrow because of the X-Men Evolution show. When I watched X-Men Evolution, I was like, who the hell's Spike?
You thought this show is so shit, I'm gonna go learn about some comic characters, didn't you?
I googled Spike, like, or whatever it was at the time. I went on the internet to look for Spike and realised Spike didn't exist in the comics, and the forums were saying that he was his power set was inspired of Marrow, and then I learnt about Marrow. So I've again, it's been a character and a character design that I always thought would look great in figure form. There's been some great customs of Marrow from the overall Legends community out there in the world I've seen, but now we have a Marvel Legends one proper for the collection. So yeah, I love adding new characters, so shout out to Fabian Cortez as well, and I'll be happy to complete an X Factor team if they want to complete a team relatively quick, get it done this year. Why not? I do think Hasbro are definitely more conscious of that. The last 2 years, whether it be the Uncanny X-Men or even the Squadron Supreme as examples, I do think they're a little bit more conscious of getting teams out quicker. Granted, there's still a lot to go, but 2025 is a fresh year now. Let's get characters like Feral and Hepzibah. We like our fair, hairy women.
Based upon like everything and all the leaks we know that are out there,
yeah.
Like, so this is the X-Men comic wave of 2025. So
yeah.
What do you think? Like, obviously we know we're gonna get some kind of X-Men 97 wave coming next year.
Yeah.
But do you think we're gonna get any other kind of X-Men wave next year? Because it seems like the X-Men are on the up again at the minute, with obviously X-Men 97, with Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think in regards to comics, this
Yeah.
is going to be the main X-Men line for next year, because in regards to other things, we're going to get the Capcom stuff, which has X-Men characters, and we're also going to get more X-Men 97 stuff as well, which is also under the X-Men umbrella. So I think in regards to comic X-Men, we're not exactly going to get another Build-A-Figure wave. We might get another couple of deluxes or a couple of retro cards similar to Professor X, who already got revealed, and Ryan did make a sort of a nod to maybe seeing that orange packaging again. So maybe there is rumours out there we're going to get a Mystique on the purple card. So I do think we will get X-Men spattered throughout the year, but maybe not in the same Build-A-Figure concept, which I'm okay with, as long as they keep them coming using the different formats for release, because I definitely want more X-Men 97 figures as well, because now I have my new shelf up top, and we're getting the Sentinel next year as well, that I may or may not have pre-ordered too many, so I definitely need some more characters for the Sentinels to beat up. So yeah, so I think next year is going to be a little bit different in regards to the waves, because this year we technically only got like 2 Build-A-Figures, but now we're actually getting movies again. So we're going to get the Thunderbolts, we're going to get Fantastic Four, we've also got Disney Plus shows like Daredevil and stuff. So I think we will see a few more, maybe a couple more Build-A-Figure waves attached to the movies, because that's usually how they do things. Granted, they changed it up for Captain America, but they had to, due to the character designs, required a little bit extra. But I think for Thunderbolts, you could easily do a wave of Thunderbolt characters. Again, I know some people are going to call that Thunderbolts wave a wave of shelf warmers, or I know they're going to say that. I know it's going to happen. But
That was Toy Farce's picture, wasn't it?
yeah.
They made a film of all the Marvel Legends still on the shelf.
I genuinely like the Thunderbolts trailer. I like the obscure side characters in these movies that are now getting a main movie. I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts. I'm genuinely am.
I've liked Florence Pugh as Yelena. I think she's quite good.
Winter Soldier's always great as well.
Yeah.
Becky Barnes. US
So those two
Agent
should
was
be good. And hopefully some of the other characters, they can redeem them a bit.
Yeah,
no,
kill off Taskmaster. We don't need that.
Maybe that's the hope. They all just die, and then it's just all new characters.
We need to meet Jason Master. So they need early on in the film, they need to kill off that female Taskmaster, and then Jason Masters comes in with the actual ability to copy people without the stupid technology involved, and take over the mantle as it should be. It's not the gender flopping that I had issues with. It's just the whole character where they forced it in just so it was connected for the Black Widows. I didn't like it, but yeah. Anyway, I'm in for Thunderbolts. We're gonna get a Thunderbolts wave. We're gonna get a Fantastic Four wave. In regards to Disney Plus shows, we're gonna get the Daredevil show. I think we're also gonna get. Are we gonna get
Ironheart next year?
Ironheart, yeah, maybe. I'm surprised we haven't got anything from What If Season 3. Do you know, because last year we got a whole wave of What If and Disney Plus figures, and at the end of this year we're getting What If, ain't we, at December again? So
yeah, this is the first year we haven't had a Disney Plus wave, isn't it?
Because it's been a slower year. Because again,
I suppose technically the X-Men 97 Wave 2 was probably the Disney. It was a Disney Plus show, wasn't it? So I suppose technically we did.
Kevin said Tony Masters. I always say Jason Masters. I think I know someone called Jason Masters because I always said he'd say that. Shout out Jason Masters, but yeah, Tony Masters. Anyway, Daredevil, the actual Taskmaster. You know who I'm referring to. But yes. Anyway, next, again, I genuinely think, just as a Legends collector that's been in it for the long haul, we've had our ups and downs, but we're definitely on a uptick this year. It should continue to next year. We already know we're getting Dragon Man. We already know we're getting the Sentinel. We know we're getting these 2 waves now, which are 2 solid waves for the pockets of the Marvel Universe they represent. Let me go back to the pictures here for the Spider-Man wave. So there's the Spider-Man wave. Again, great selection of characters within the Spider-Man world. His X-Men, great selection of characters within the within the X-Men world in relation to what we already have in our collection. Do you know what I mean? We don't need another Jim Lee Wolverine in this wave, do we? So let's give us a different one. I get it. I understand it. So 2 great waves. And again, we're going to get exclusives spattered through the year. We're probably going to get more pre-order only stuff next year as well. We're going to get more X-Men 97, more movie stuff. We're going to finish off. We know we're going to get Electro now. They've confirmed that. So we're going to finish off the No Way Home. We're going to get more. We're probably going to get Shana the She-Devil. Do you know what to complete that?
Fingers crossed.
We're going to get more Uncanny X-Men X-Force. They basically confirmed that today as well. Honestly, 2025 should be a great year for Legends, as long as Todd McFarlane don't take the license, Todd. Stay away from Legend. I'm joking. That's just going to be a bit. That's going to be a continued bit for the next couple of years because people are so paranoid after reading articles online.
Todd McFarlane has got his the statue range, isn't it? That's out. I've seen that. The 7-inch. They've got him Pin Planet, the first couple.
Yeah. Look, I understand if Hasbro are not making statues of Marvel stuff and Todd comes along, fair enough. Give him spread the Marvel love out there. But in regards to 6-inch Marvel Legend, 6-inch representations of these characters, I don't think Todd wants it. He wants the Marvel.
He only does 7-inch or some weird 4-inch scale or page punching little tiny figures.
If Todd wanted Todd doesn't want Marvel Legends. Todd wants Marvel. He wants to collaborate with Marvel, and he's getting a bit of that. So I don't think Legends is going anywhere. Again, it's
would you if he did get it and he did it like a DC Multiverse 7-inch figure line, so it's all new again. No, that's your limit, is it?
Honestly, if Marvel Legends stopped right now, right? If Marvel Legends stopped right now, we've got an epic display that I could change up every 6 months and it feel fresh. There's still a couple of figures out there that I'm backtracking on, and you can always want to change up and get different. If Legends stopped right now, we've got 22 years of history. We've got an epic collection that I will forever look on fondly. So yeah, if something come along and change the it's more about changing the aesthetic and the stuff. If a company came along, I know people love Jada at the minute, so let's just use Jada as an example. If Jada come along and took the Marvel license and started doing Marvel characters in the 6-inch format, pinless, and the same aesthetically approach is the same, and it feels like a continuation rather than a full stop, then absolutely I'll continue. But if someone come along and went, right, Marvel Legends is dead, we're starting something fresh, then I ain't got the space for to start something fresh. I'll step away. I'll step away, retire, and enjoy my Legends collection, I think.
And if that happens, I'm available. Call me Strong Collectors. Call me Justified.
Yeah, we're good. Rich is locked in until 2026 at least. All right. Those Marvel Hasbro negotiations has the fine print of Rich M being attached to the Dan Who live show while the license is active. But yeah, back to this. Which do you prefer, X-Men or Spider-Man? You're an X-Men guy, so you're going to say X-Men, right?
I'm an X-Men guy, but I do think they are pretty strong with, right? So if you could do this, right? If there was one figure you could remove and one figure you could add from both, who are you removing and who you add in? Who are you going to do?
Okay, remove female Electro and add in the battle damaged Spider-Man.
Controversial.
Yeah, sorry about that, Francine, but battle damage. Let me go and get it, actually, so I can show people what I'm talking about. I've literally got the Toy Biz figure, mint out of package. It's beautiful, right? I'll go and get it. You can just speak to
Go and grab it. So for me, if it was me, I would probably get rid of Spider-Boy. I would say bye, Spider-Boy, sorry. And I would, of course, add in Madam Web. This version, or classic comic book version / animated series with the chair. She's going to need a big blister. It might need to be a deluxe, like Kingpin. But yeah, that's what I would get. I would add Madam Web into this wave. With the X-Men, I'm definitely going to take out Extreme X-Men Wolverine. Just not a fan of Extreme X-Men. Don't think you need it. And then I would add in Jean Grey in her red and yellow X-Factor costume. That's who... I know! What am I on about? I'm cheating on myself here, Dan. I would of course put in Hepzibah! Hepzibah! Come on.
Who did you swap out Spider-Boy for?
Madam Web.
Oh, yeah, Madam Web's a good one.
Either version.
I want Madam Web with a throne. Let me show you this. So this is Battle Ravaged. So he was called Battle Ravaged Spider-Man, and he came out in the Toy Biz line in 1994. And it's a ripped up, beaten up Spider-Man, ripped mask. He's got a tuft of hair sticking out. He's holding a Doc Ock tentacle. He's got a backpack made of web that you can actually put things into it. It's like squashy. Like, you can't fit a lot into it, but you can shove his camera in there, and his camera's attached to his belt. He's got claw marks on him because he's had a fight with Lizard or something. So yeah, he's all the tatty and battle damaged Spider-Man. And when I was a kid playing with Spider-Man figures, I used to have my regular Spider-Man, and then during the battle scene, I'd do the good old switcheroo. I'd be like, oh, it's all damaged. Oh, no. But yeah, the Toy Biz figures and the animated show was my gateway to Marvel. That is why I love the retro card so much, and that's why I've got a whole wall covering it. And Chameleon was like a big gap in that collection. So let me, I don't care if this crashes, it won't crash the thing, but I'm gonna share the sound with Rich, because Rich needs to hear the glorious angels sing. But let me just hold this up, Rich. Hold this up. It happened! They did it! Chameleon on the retro card! That's going to be my gimmick all weekend. No matter what stream I go on, I'm going to be playing
the lighting effects and everything. Just the budget. The budget is like, wow.
But yeah, I absolutely love it. So yeah, Battle Ravaged Spider-Man swapped out for Francine Fry. And there are rumours out there of a battle damaged Spider-Man. Maybe that's the deluxe Spider-Man we're going to get. Maybe we're going to get a Spider-Man with like interchangeable parts to make him a bit more battle damaged or something.
That's an easy store exclusive as well. Because sure, like Walmart or Target would take a Spider-Man figure. So that would be a good one. And that could still be on the retro card then, because they do those exclusives, don't they?
Yeah, I love it. These were some of my favourite toys as a kid, for sure.
What about the X-Men wave? Who are you taking out and who are you putting in?
Oh, okay. Let's have a little look then. Who am I taking out of the X-Men wave? I like Hepzibah, but I'll say someone different from Hepzibah. So let's take out Wolverine, because I don't need that Wolverine. Okay, I don't.
We've had literally 11 Wolverine figures this year.
got plenty of Wolverines, and I'd add in Exodus as another villain,
that's a
and
good-
also
that's a good
pairs
pick.
up really well with Fabian Cortez, because I know those two both were leaders of their own versions of the acolytes, right? So
Yep.
yeah, so I'd take out Wolverine for a single packed Exodus, because I think you can do Exodus single packed, especially on these bigger boxes now. Like, I know a lot of people saying Exodus for a builder figure because he has the big sort of neck piece and stuff, but I do think you can make it work single packed. You have bigger characters on that packaging, so yeah, get rid of Wolverine, add in Exodus, even better wave. Andy's a bit late to the stream. He's just said, Dan, we did it, animated chameleon. Andy, where have you been? Andy, where have you been? Hang on, Andy.
Give him a hallelujah. Come on, Dan.
All right. We did it, Andy. We did it. We did it, Andy. We got animated chameleon. We did it. Yeah, hopefully I don't get copyrighted by these angels, by the way. If the stream goes down later, you know why. We did it, Andy. We did it. Rick in the chat, Legion X, he agrees with Exodus. Hit. Aaron also says, yes, Exodus, but the AOA version of Exodus. Minus Wolverine and add Feral, says Chi Collects. That's another good one.
With the AOA, we said like about single releases or that whole, like, because they've done all, like, a lot of the different teams, but they haven't touched the Amazing X-Men. There was like Astonishing X-Men, which had like Rogue, Blink, Morph, Sabretooth, which we've all had. But the Amazing X-Men, which has got Exodus, Dazzler, Quicksilver, Storm, and Banshee and Bishop, none of those we've had in AOA. So they could do like a box set of that. That would be a good box set to have.
Every year we get box sets, multi-packs. This year we're absolutely going to get them. I'll be curious which direction they go. For me, like, if I have to say anything for Legends moving into 2025, and we'll discuss this in more detail as the month goes on, as we wrap up the year, but I do just want them to continue being aware. Like, I understand they've got to keep Wolverines and Spider-Man and Captain America's in the line because they've always got to try and catch new people and give jumping on points for new collectors. If we want Legends to continue and be strong, there has to be jumping on points for new people to not feel overwhelmed to get involved. So I understand it, but just be conscious of the people that have been here from the beginning and keep finishing those teams and giving us those character designs from the different generations and stuff, because I understand, like we were saying with Brandon earlier, here's a different generation to us, his nostalgic attachment is to something completely different, which doesn't mean it's wrong, it's just his perspective, and everyone's going to have a different preference perspective. So what I like, someone else might not like, and that's okay. YouTube's got enough people on there that tell you,
unless they like Kitty Pryde, and then I mean they're a terrible person, and you get no hallelujahs. Going to hell. Go to hell.
Let me just scroll back up and read a couple of the top threes from this X-Men wave for the people. Kev Collectibles says Genocide, then Nightcrawler and Husk. We appreciate him calling him Genocide, his correct name. South Presence says Marrow, X-Factor Scott, and then X-Force Kurt. The Black Chiller says Marrow, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. I'm sorry, Lorenz is a fan of this X-Men wave. We've got, who else we got? Prophet says AOA, Gambit, and Marrow were the top two. Otterly says top three is Nemesis, Marrow, and Cortez. Aaron says Gambit, Nightcrawler, and then Holocaust. We got Doc Avenger saying Marrow, Husk, and Cortez. So, okay, as we wrap up the stream then, what are your top three? What are the chat's top three reveals from today? From anything that got revealed today, what are your top three reveals? We'll finish the stream by reading a couple out from the chat that were ever so patient, following us over when our first stream died, which we appreciate.
Don't mention it. No one will ever know. No one will ever know.
Let me get the chat up to say thank you. We also had a poll up in the chat as well that said, did you like today's reveals? Two answers to the question. Yes, great reveals. Because I think subjectively, even if you're not collecting Legends at the minute, you can still look at these and think, look, these are pinless updated figures, nice accessories, great representation of the character design from the source material. I do think subjectively it's hard to sort of say these are shit. But again, everyone has their own standards. Like, I know, like, there's certain people out there that have very high standards of 6-inch action figures that are made in high quantities by a company that sells at retail. But that's up to them. But that's up to them. 90% say yes, great reveals, which is a nice percentage of over 250 votes. I'm definitely in the yes, great reveals category today. Absolutely. I think there's something there for everybody. But not 10% didn't find anything they liked. And that's okay. That is okay.
What's your top three of everything?
Top three of everything. Well, top three of everything. So Chameleon's number one, as we know. And then second place, Chameleon. Third place, Chameleon. No, okay. Chameleon's number 1. Chameleon. I like Kane. I like Agent Venom a lot more than I thought I was going to. Every time I look at Agent Venom with the unmasked head, I always like that concept. So, because it was when Venom went to space and joined the Guardians, and then he came back down to Earth, and that's when he started being Agent Venom again. And I like Agent Venom. So, but I'm not going to say Agent Venom. I'm going to say Kane for 90s, and then I'm going to say Marrow. Chameleon, Kane, and Marrow are my top 3. Yeah, there you go. There's my top 3 from everything today. What about you? Have everything combined?
My third would be Kane. I think Kane would be my third, just because he's like that look I love,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
it fits in that era. My second would be Husk. Had
to be for you, yeah, for sure.
And then my top pick would be Ryan Ting's new haircut. It was the highlight of the stream for me. Beautiful haircut. You should go to that hairdresser more often.
Do you have a number 1 apart from Ryan's haircut?
No, it was Ryan's haircut.
Okay,
That is my number 1.
Fair enough.
If they put it in a Build-A-Figure, I would buy it.
Just an interchangeable Ryan Ting haircut piece. Okay, fair enough. Ryan's watching the stream going, I didn't even have a haircut. What the hell is he on about? Let's read out some of the chat then, all right? Give me your top 3 and I'll read a couple out as we wrap up today. Jay's Toy Collection UK, I've heard of him. I may have jumped on his live stream earlier if you want to go and check that out for some bonus content. He says Chameleon, Professor X, and Kane. Cheeky Collect says, copying all of the X-Men wave for sure. If Hasbro could release waves with characters that finish teams, add to existing teams and start a new team would be ideal in my opinion. Yeah, I don't mind them adding new teams as long as they continue to wrap up the teams we currently have. So yeah, again, characters like Feral would be great this year. Hepzibah would be great this year. But then I also like the idea of completing an X-Factor first appearance as well. So
but like Husk builds on that Generation X,
Yep.
Gambit adds to your AOA, so they are like trying, and then obviously like Wolverine is starting the Extreme team, which there's a few fans of, maybe 3.
Rob Pollock's one of them, right?
Definitely Rob Pollock. I think he bought the Omnibus. I'm sure he did, because he was like telling me, and I think it was on offer on Amazon, and I was like, "There's no way I'm buying that. No way."
I can see Rectangular in the chat. Chard, we were talking about you earlier. Is this the 70s Spider-Man that you really wanted? Me and Rich were genuinely curious. We know that this was on Elite List ages ago. It turned out to be the Japanese Spider-Man, but you wanted this one. Are you happy with this reveal, Todd? Is this the 70s Spider-Man you wanted? As a friend, I'm genuinely curious. Happy for you if it is. Let's read out some more from the chat then. Virtual Dave says Chameleon, 77 Spider-Man and Spider-Man Unlimited. Christopher Allen said Marrow, Chameleon, Kane. Kev's Collectibles says Agent Venom, Genocide, Kane. He's given us a top 5. Why the hell not? Chameleon and Husk. Kevin Beatty said Spider-Man 1977, Chameleon, Kane, and our top 3. South Present says Blast Effect was a nice addition to Scott's existing effect. Yes, I agree. I like when they don't give us enough new excess pieces. We do get more reuse when it comes to effect pieces than we probably should, so I like to see a bit of a difference there for sure. California Red Devil says X Factor, Cyclops, 77 Spidey, and Marrow. South Present says Agent Venom, Space King or Space Knight. Doc Avenger says Nemesis, since I don't have one. Marrow and Chameleon. Inquisitive Mind says Marrow for that Capcom nostalgia. Rectangular, as I said, says Adam Warlock. FTW. What's FTW mean?
For the win!
For the win. Oh, okay, for the win. I'm old.
Come on! Get down with the kids,
I'm old.
Dan! Come on!
And Rich has gifted 5 channel memberships. That's very kind of you, Rich, on this Friday night.
I'm up late. I haven't been out drinking. My drinking money is gone on channel memberships.
Oh, you're a good man, Rich. You're a good man. I will be doing bonus.
Oh no, my Nemesis, my genocided life has gone. A bloody membership. There he is, Abnagler. Creep it out as well.
You have just gifted your Nemesis a membership. How does he do it? How does he? Is he lurking? I haven't seen him in ages.
He's just there waiting.
He's just waiting for that opportunity to pounce. Encounter Culture says Genocide, Marrow, Chameleon, Hero Collections did the same joke I did earlier, but replaced it with Professor X, and Professor X. Aaron says, Aaron was gifted a membership. Andy was gifted a membership. Abnogler was gifted a membership. Big M was gifted a membership. And Birds in Boxes were gifted a membership. There's some new names that I'm not familiar with. I'm very aware of Ralph Stuck Down the Well, but other than that, Big M, I'm no. Birds in the Box is a new name, right, that we don't hear often. So, welcome. Use the emojis. Send a thank you to Rich if you are watching live, but I have discovered you can be gifted a channel membership even if you're not watching live. You get gifted if you're got watch time on the channel or something like that. I haven't quite worked it out. Seb said Husk, Marrow, Professor X. Top Loaded Gaming says Cortez, Professor X, even though he's missing his X bout. Super Turk 5000 says I thought it meant effing time waster. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant either. I wasn't sure if he liked I liked Adam Warlock or not. I wasn't sure. But yes, confirmed. Rectangular did like the X77 Spider-Man. Terry says Lizard, Gambit, and Spidey. Jamie says Husk, Marrow, and Chameleon. Abnogler is here watching. He is out. He's climbed out of that well, using the channel membership as a rope to guide him back to the light. Now nourished and needing some food, but Abnogler is out of the well. He's been rescued for Christmas. He says it is a Christmas miracle. Rich M, no longer my nemesis. He gifted me a membership. That's true. It's the giving season, which is spreading the positive vibes.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Ralph. Merry Christmas, Abnogler. Aaron has also been gifted a membership. Feel free to use those emojis for the first time. Does anyone else have a Thanos copter emoji? Or maybe a bum pirate emoji is more to your fancy? Or you could just use your traditional hippo emoji. I'm still waiting for a hippo. Maybe 2025 is going to be my year. If not, I'll go to the fat hippo instead and eat a burger. I don't mind. Oh no, Super Turks crashed the copter. I guess you can do that with a pal. Jamie says, Phil said that Dan Yoon is on Unparalleled tonight. And he's ignoring my emails. The bastard. No, he hasn't really. I haven't emailed him, to be fair. We'll be watching that. Ask him if that Spike is Marrow. Someone get that confirmation for me. I'm still not quite sure. Jimmy Boy said, Dan, start pitching a Tiger Stripe Wolverine. You seem to make things happen. Chameleon, Beast, start campaigning for Tiger Stripe Wolverine on the orange card. Jimmy Boy, I've been saying that, but I do think, unfortunately, the X-Men 97 has threw a wrench in those works, because they're not going to do a orange carded Wolverine Jim Lee and do a X-Men 97 Jim Lee design either. It's awkward. It's an awkward one, but I do have hope.
If Target or Walmart's buyers watch this show, if you wanted a store exclusive, get those orange cards with the Jim Lee X-Men on it. They would sell.
Absolutely.
Sell like bangers.
Absolutely one. I know I have multiple Jim Lee Wolverine X-Men's and Cyclops. Put them on the orange retro card. You would get me money for buying 2 more of each.
I think Abnogler might be my new favourite channel member now. Look, read on that comment, Dan. Read on that comment.
My 3 picks were AOA Gambit, Kane, and Chameleon. But free change Chameleon for Husk, just for Rich M. Merry Generation Xmas. That is. See, we have. It is a Christmas miracle.
I need that sound. Do that soundboard. I need the soundboard, Dan. I need it for me. I need it for me.
Okay, let's do it. Abnogler is out the well, and he is friends with Rich M. It is a Generation Xmas. Good times had by all. Abnogler's out the well. How long is he going to be out the well? We shall see. Jamie says, you now have Chameleon and Rich has Monet. Tanner and I need a 2-pack of Goose Rider and Evil Turkish Spider-Man. How do we break the news to Tanner and Jamie, that that's probably not going to happen? I've got more chance of Hippo happening than that 2-pack.
I think next year we all need to get new characters now. We need to ditch all the ones we didn't get and get some new characters. That's what we need to do.
Okay. Husk looks awesome, says Aaron. Now, Husk does. Husk was, again, I think they've represented her power set very well in plastic. But yeah, overall, some great reveals. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening, recapping these reveals. Again, apologies if anyone was around for the first stream, but that never happened. Everything was fine. If anyone joined the second stream, they don't know what
I've been here all night. What are you on about?
Yeah, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. But no, I'm very happy. We're ending the year. Again, now we've had these last set of reveals. The last couple of streams of the year can be sort of reflecting on the year, ranking the waves maybe. Maybe doing our top figures of the year, of course, as we always do. Our most wanted for the new year. So yeah, I like this end of the year season. It's reflecting and looking forward about the hobby. So good times ahead. But yeah, it's great. I'm so happy we've got Animated Chameleon to see the year off. For a whole year, I've been like, is it going to be on the VHS? Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I've got room waiting for him. Literally right there. Kane, Chameleon, and Limited Spider-Man are going to fill that void right there. And yeah, more X-Men up top. I'm making room, people. But good times. Lots of discussion, yes, says Encounter Culture. Yes, absolutely. And just to confirm, before we get out of here, I am literally, Amanda's away for the weekend. Amanda has went off to Ireland to harvest potatoes. I assume so. Why else would you go Ireland? So I think she's gone to Ireland to drink Guinness and harvest potatoes. So she's not here this weekend. So I'm using that as an opportunity to stream in places that I usually can't due to not wanting to wake up Amanda in the middle of the night. So
supermultiverse.com, you joining them? Or?
No, I'm gonna between you and me, Encountering Culture is being my little mole, and he's got the password to Justin Collects live stream. So this weekend, this is gonna be 1 a.m. for me, for the UK time, which is pretty late. So earlier on today, I did go over to Jay's channel, and I did jump in with Jay and Tana. So let me share that in the chat. So go and check that out. Jay broke his record for the most people in a live stream. Jay had over 70 people in his live stream. That's great. That's great for Jay. Great. That is great for Jay. I remember when me and Brandon would celebrate at double digits. Do you know what I mean? So me and Brandon would be like, 10 people are here. Hooray. He wasn't aware that I had 9 devices on the house. As a matter, put the iPads on. I need to look like we've got viewers so Brandon sticks around. But no, it's good times. Then let me go to Justin Collects. Justin, not Bieber. Can you believe it? Justin Bieber comes up before Justin Collects on the YouTube algorithm. Crazy stuff. So I'll be going over to Justin's channel, and you can see here the Dan Who takeover, and they want to talk about the worst figures of 2024 because they think I'm a Grinch. They think I'm just there to spoil the party. So they're talking about the worst figures of the year. So I don't really know what my worst figures are yet because I'm an educated purchaser. I don't buy things I don't like. I watch reviews first.
Look, I hope someone represents Red Widow for me.
I'll do that for you. There you go. I'm taking Red Widow to the ballot. So yeah, go and I'll put some links in the chat. Go and save that to your watch later list. Hit the notification bell on it. I'm going to be there tomorrow night. That's Saturday. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I think, but it's 1 p.m. UK time. Don't know what it is Pacific. Do the maths. But yeah, just in collect.
Speaking of 2025 figures, you've also got a new review coming up, haven't you?
Thank you very much, Rich, because somehow, some way, I have the brand new Marvel Legends Dark Avengers. I'm not saying Dark Warbird because it's Dark Miss Marvel. I have her in my hand. So far, people like X-Manny and Collector have them yet, so I'm very grateful. Jay says, hallelujah, my toy sense was tingling for Chameleon. Yes, absolutely, hallelujah, the Chameleon. Does he just want a hallelujah? Let's just give him a hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah for Rich, because Rich is the true source of the Marvel Legends community and somehow managed to get this before anybody else. So
got off the back of a van.
So I'll be reviewing this weekend. I'll review this tomorrow. I will be reviewing this and posting a review for this tomorrow. I will, of course, compare and do lots of...
put away the police. Yeah, the police are in the chat. Put away.
Who's there? Who's the police?
Nothing. Hi, Brandon.
Oh, Brandon wasn't there. Okay, yeah. Brandon... Yeah, Brandon's not to know about that. Rich, you've done it again, bravo. That's customly knocked up, to be fair. It's a customly knocked up. 4:45 Pacific time, says Encounter Culture. So yes, back to me plugging. I'll be on Justin's channel tomorrow, and then on Sunday, you might have heard of them. They don't collect many Marvel Legends, but they call themselves the Strong Collectors. But I definitely see more Mythic Legions in that minibus than I did Strong Collectors. But I'll be on the Strong Collectors channel on Sunday. And to be fair, they're being a lot more giving than Justin. Justin's very inconsiderate. unwilling to change his stream time. He refused to move it from 1 o'clock in the morning for me. But the Strong Collectors are much more considerate than Justin, as they're streaming at a much more a time. I think they're streaming at about 7 p.m. my time on Sunday, which is about Legends of Liquor time, which is very manageable. So thank you very much to Dakota and Jordan, as I'll be joining the Strong Collectors on a Sunday, and I guess we're doing that draft that the Legends team did, I guess. But yeah, shout out the Strong Collectors, one of those up and coming channels, you know, one of those up and coming channels. We're there from the beginning. Remember, Rich, we're supporting these from the beginning. So when these go past us,
I do honestly. I watch all the Strong Collectors videos. I don't watch their lives like live because I think I've been in a couple like at the end, but the times are like different. And I go to actual work now. I'm not working from home. Remember those days, Dan, where I could watch all the live streams? I used to do my work in the night. I just watched live streams. It was amazing. Yeah. Now I'm actually back in the office. It's not as fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would definitely watch more American live streams live, but again, time zones are killer. And this room is right next to my bedroom, so I talk very loud with headphones on. Amanda would not be happy with me. So, but yeah, Rectangular, we're on your page, by the way, Rectangular, and I'll be making a point of that in my review. She was never called Dark Warbird. It's Dark Miss Marvel all day, every day. Moonstone, of course. Dark Avengers. I will be doing some head swaps in my video as well, and all of that good stuff. All right, so that I'll do a review for that tomorrow. But I'll be streaming. Yeah, I'll be doing the Dan Who. I'm just basically going to be touring all these YouTube channels this weekend, holding up my Retro Chameleon and going all weekend. You'll find me everywhere. Just to collect the Strong Collectors. Jay's Toy Collector UK. It happened. Very, very happy. I love it. Rich, any final words for the people before we get out of here?
Just, I won't be next week, but I've done 2 streams this week to make up for it.
That's true.
You can look forward to Jay next week, filling in my slot
I haven't even asked Jay yet. Jay,
oh, there you go. Jay, next week.
Available next Thursday for the super substitute is required for a stream next Thursday, as Rich is unavailable. But Rich did double up this week, which we very much appreciate. Rich, where can they find you online?
So you can find me online now, searching all of my usual haunts for that X-Men waves. I want to husk first.
We need to
That's
beat
what I
the
want.
Americans. We need to beat them. Pesky Americans.
It's not so much. It's not America. It's Canada.
Canada. We can't moan at Canada too much because I know Troy doesn't like it when we do that. But Canada, people, all right? We need to shut it down. That CMD store, shut it down. We need to get it shut down. We need to cut the supply off to the Canadians for getting all these Marvel Legends early. People think it's me. No, go and do your research, people.
That Dark Miss Marvel will be up on CMD store now on the weekend, Dan.
Express delivery to X-Manny and MCU Collector. Damn you guys! Now, hopefully, I can beat them to this one. Like, it's all friendly banter, people. It's all friendly banter. I actually like Brian from MCU Collector very much so. And that's all I'll say on that one. I fill the slot. I will fill the slot. Okay, just Jay's available. Jay is available. Ashaholic says, I've asked you, Dan, if you want the CMD stuff. You said no. Because, Ash, it's too expensive to ship overseas and it takes ages. Like, it takes like 2 weeks. It's a pain in the ass. And I've had issues recently with stuff in customs.
I think we've said this before. So the X-Men 97 Wave 2, we got Cyclops for the CMD store. And it cost us so basically what the figure was double for postage. So it cost us like $60 to ship it. Yeah. And then when it hit Dan got charged another like £25 on top of that as a customs charge. So there's no point. And we got it after all the Americans and Canadians got it. So there's no point.
The review did make £3.25 on YouTube. So
it made £4.25.
It was all worth it. It was all worth it. Do you know what I mean?
We only lost like what £40 on that. Well, only £40. Not so bad.
This is what I mean. Like, I don't want to pay. Rich especially will track down these figures, but we will not like crazily overpay. We're not that desperate. We just like if it's usually you can get the figure at retail and you're just paying a bit extra for the shipping. That's fair game. Yeah. That's fair game.
We can't, if it's America or Canada, we can't get it quick enough. Or we get hit with custom charges. Like, they seem to be more on it with Canada and America. But if it's anywhere in Europe or Australia or Japan or Hong Kong or China even, like, they come through much quicker. It seems to be like it's like a backdoor into the UK. They just come in. They don't really do much checks or anything on them. I think only once from Spain I got hit with custom charges. Otherwise, I've never been hit from custom charges from anywhere.
Yeah, no, usually from the east. We don't get customs,
It's
but
fine,
from the
yeah.
West, we do get customs.
Every time. And then it's not just the custom charge. You get paid like an admin fee. You get paid like £11 just for them. They're giving it to you.
Yeah.
So
you pay
like,
Royal Mail a handling fee and then the custom. Yeah. So we that's why we can't do the Canadian stuff. We can't.
We just like morning.
We can't compete. Yeah. We can't compete. Okay. It's been a bit glitchy, so it's probably a good time to end. It says reconnecting on my end. Are we still here? Are we gone? Test.
We might be gone.
It's all right. If we are at the end, it's fine. I'm not restarting. Restart. Do it again. It says reconnecting. Oh, we might be gone.
No, it's still on. We're still on.
You're
okay.
We're still here? Oh, okay. Good. Okay. It says reconnecting on my end. Right. I'll wrap up before we do get kicked off anyway. Again, I'll be on Justin's stream tomorrow. Don't tell him though. I'll be on the Strong Collectors on Sunday. And yeah. Chameleon, it happened, people. I'm very, very happy. Me and Jay will be back next week. Rich is having a week off. You enjoy your week off, Rich. But you'll be back before the year's out for sure anyway, to talk about our top 10s and all of that good stuff. But yes, let me know your favourite reveals in the comments below if you are in the replay crew, or if you're watching live now but you just want to let the replay crew know your favourites, let them know in the comments below. Again, no right or wrong answers. 90% of you liked what we've seen today. The 10%, it's not for you, but you may be MCU collectors. It's absolutely fine. We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Click that video or click that video. I don't mind. Go and watch one. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. And I'll be reviewing this over the weekend. So maybe I'll come back and replace one of these videos with this review, all right? I'll see you soon. In 2025, it's looking like a good year. Chameleon. Hallelujah. Where's the music? Play it quick.